All sports, all the time.
There's heroes and there's legends. Heroes get remembered. Legends never die.
This is the Spoken Podcast.
Hold your ears, folks. It's showtime.
I'm your host, Lance Woodwell.
Man, that kid, he can ball, man. He can ball.
Touchdown, Kansas City!
Patrick freaking Mahomes, baby!
Let's talk some sports, because that's what we're here to do.
You are tuned in to The Spoken.
This is the Spoken Podcast. I'm your host, Lance Woodwell, here inside the Spoken Studios with my guy, Trevor Twidwell.
What's good?
Episode 336 is in full swing, full motion. We're so happy to be here with you and for you to be here with us, whether you are live streaming, podcasting, or YouTube. We want to thank you so much for taking the time to be with us in this time, as we have an awesome show for you guys. And I say awesome on purpose because there needs to be emphasis on the word, guys, because we have a guy that I have been waiting to have on the show for a long time. He's been on our show before, but it's been, probably at least, 2-3 years since we've had him back on.
Been a minute, man.
Long overdue. I feel guilty about it. I'll own up to it. It's my fault. But let's be real, man. When you live across the world, life can get busy and life can get, you're just on a different, literally on a different timeline. And, we definitely appreciate him taking the time, 6 hours ahead of us. Our guy, Chief Brad SYMCOX from Chiefs, Arrowhead Abroad, rather, is going to be joining us in about 30 minutes or so. Great content creator, awesome dude altogether. And if you guys have not already been following him, definitely follow him. You guys will see that on the link on Twitter if you guys are watching on there. But we also want you guys to do us a favor today and also get on the YouTube side. We've had a nice little spike in subscribers this last week or so. We are very grateful for all that, for all the newcomers that are here with us. We want you guys to know that this is not a show that is just here to talk at you. You know, there's a lot of shows out there that just want you to hear their opinions and you just sit there and listen. That's not what we're here to do. We're here to talk with you guys. We're here to have a conversation. That's what we actually want. We don't just want you to feel like that. We want you to actually be a part of it. So go to YouTube, go to the Spoken Podcast, hit subscribe, hit notify, hit like, hit share, hit all the cool buttons they have for you guys to offer. But the one we need you to hit the most, and the most important one, is the comment button. We want you guys to be a part of the show. Give us your takes, your questions, your thoughts, your concerns, whatever you guys have for us, man. We want you guys to be a part of the show. We want to give you guys shout outs for great takes, maybe even some bad takes. Let's have some fun today, guys. Let's have fun. Let's do what we do here every single week. Like I said, we have over 330 episodes of doing this. You guys know the routine, but if for anybody that is new, we want to thank you for being a part of this today. Trevor, how the hell are you doing, man?
Doing good, man. It's been a beautiful week. The bye week has been some good time for some contemplation.
Boy,
right? We've been figuring things out, and I'm sure the Chiefs have been doing that. We've been, analyzing a lot of things on our end, and I hope the Chiefs have been doing the same. It's Bronco week, bro. You know what I mean? So it's been a lot of it's been brewing, and this is a massive game for us. And just overall, man, good. I got volleyball going on with Scarlett. The kids are busy with school, things like that. We got Thanksgiving break coming up soon. We got the holidays right around the corner here soon. So it's my favorite time of year, man.
Yep.
Spending time with people I love, and talking shit, whether it's football or whatever we want to talk about with the family and friends, doing the bonfires out here at the crib.
Hell yeah.
Man. Doing great, bro. This is my favorite time of year. I'm thriving right now. It's the best time for me personally. So a Chiefs win would sure would make things a little even that much nicer for me. So yeah, bro, doing good, man. Ready to talk some ball, bro.
Well, I just want to let you guys also know we have this new setting on our StreamYard. That's where we obviously stream all of our videos live. There's a setting now where they have multiple different viewpoints. So you have your landscape and you have your cell phone version. So if you're on YouTube, there's two different versions on there, just to let you guys know. There is one for your cell phone, obviously like that, so it looks better when you're sitting there straight up, or the landscape mode. So whichever one fits you better, go to that stream. There's multiple options now. We actually just found that out today. It's a new system they have going on. So I thought it was pretty cool they're doing that. But it does make multiple streams on YouTube, just to let you guys know. Hopefully we're sounding good today, Trevor, because I've been working tirelessly on making sure we do. So I haven't seen any complaints yet in the chat. Speaking of the
they
chat.
Will let us know.
Yeah, speaking of the chat, shout out to everybody that's in there right now. Like I said, there's multiple. Holy shit, Trevor. Julia Gulia's here.
Let's go.
What is happening?
And
Where are you been?
She's showing love to your boy, too.
What'd you say?
She said, let's fucking go, Spoken. The Pats take by Trev is aging like wine.
Bro, we're talking like a nice Pinot Noir.
Don't jinx it yet.
But it's looking
It's
good.
not complete.
It's looking damn good.
The plan is on track.
Trev's doing his thing, man. So shout
Who
out
would
to
have thought they'd be a
Tailgater.
9-win team right now? It's wild.
Yeah,
bro.
dude, shout out. That's probably the best. Honestly, of all of our predictions this year, that's probably been the best one of all.
Especially
Like,
they win that
you
division,
cooked
bro.
on
I'm
that one,
telling you right now. And,
Yeah.
and I only had them losing 2 games this year, which they're probably going to drop at least 1 more or 2 more, probably tops, I think, because their schedule's so easy. So I can't see them losing more than 2. But they probably drop 1. I mean, the Bills could still get them. I know they got to go into New England, but right now, that schedule, the way they're playing, the way Drake May is playing,
man.
the way that defense is playing, I mean, this past game against the Jets, they could have steamrolled them, I think, if they really wanted to. They just wanted to get in and get out. That was just kind of a wham, bam, thank you, man kind of situation.
Won me money, too, by the way. I just want to
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, shout out to you, man. That was a nice hit. But yeah, thank you, Julie. I appreciate that. I'm feeling good about it.
Good to have you back, Jules. We missed you. Glad to see you back in the chat. Tailgater letting us know he's watching, or they are. I'm sorry, I don't know if it's a man, woman. I apologize. Watching you on our VR headset. Shout out. That is technologically
we are in
advanced.
your face.
We are all up in that face, like Vin Diesel and Fast and
No
Furious.
bubble. We are in
your face.
Yeah.
Weird reference, I know, but go with it. Trev, I don't want to waste any more time because like I said, we have a great guest coming on today. BRIT Chief's going to be with us in just a minute. I don't want to waste any time because Trev, I got thoughts. I got a rant to get to. So without further ado, ladies and gents, it is time for Lance Rant. So from the top, I just want to give a big shout out to all the other content creators in our Chiefs community. I put out a tweet, if we can put that on the screen real quick, Trevor, of just the Chiefs content creators. I just want to put this out here. As you guys know, we're big in the community. You know, like I said, we want to give shout outs to the people. We want you guys to feel like you're a part of it. You're somebody who wants to start a podcast. You're somebody who wants to put out content. Man, definitely do that. I was talking to an old buddy. He actually went to high school with Trevor and I's youngest brother. Shout out to Austin Thompson. OZ, as they call him. He started up his own show as well, and I saw him on Facebook, and I got absolutely excited. So shout out to him. I want to give him a little shout out real quick as far as what his show's called. I don't know if he's watching or not, but it's called Skin in the Game. So definitely give him a follow as well, guys. But this is a list of shows and content creators that we personally love and enjoy. I watch almost all these shows on a weekly basis or whenever they put out content. These are some great shows. As you guys can also see, I'm wearing the Chief Concern show to the studio today because we believe in this, man. We believe that there's a community of people out there that may have different viewpoints and ideas of what's going on with the Chiefs and what's going on in the world of sports. But at the end of the day, that's the beautiful part about it is we all have the right and the passion to do things like this and put out thoughts and opinions and viewpoints like that. And, we've had a lot of pretty much all these people have either been on the show multiple times, at least once, or are going to be on the show in the near future. So I want you guys to get attached to these people as soon as you can. If you're on Twitter, if you're on Facebook, if you're looking for other shows to listen to when you're not listening to us on Saturdays or watching us on Saturdays, these are some guys to definitely be following. Very knowledgeable people, people that understand the game. They know ball, as they say, and some guys that I have a lot of great friendships as well throughout these content creators. So definitely give them a follow, definitely give them a shout out, and also our guy BRIT Chiefs on that's going to be here in just a little bit. He has a show, like I said, Arrowheads Abroad. You can follow him on Twitter at KCChiefs_UK. Another awesome show. Some great guys over there as well, man. And BRIT Chief, you're going to see in just a minute as to why he's a great guy to follow and give your attention to. But Trev, something I tweeted out this week that I really wanted to harp on again because I feel like this is the most important week to talk about it is the Chiefs getting back to the basics. We talked to our guy Rob Collins on our last show in regards to what we are seeing from this Chiefs offense and what is the problem, because even though yes they're scoring points and we've seen them since Rashid Rice's return kind of take that uptick, there is still an issue, and the issue for me has always been the fluidity and the rhythm, the lack of those two things. It doesn't feel like the offense has it sometimes. It feels like they just kind of lose themselves in what they're trying to do as opposed to what they need to do. And I really started to collect my thoughts on this, and I feel like I've had this thought for a while now, but it really solidified this week, and I just kind of wanted to share this with you guys. Like I said, I put it out there on Facebook and on Twitter, and I had a lot of people really actually agree with me, believe it or not. Trevor, it's a weird thing when I have the vast majority of people actually agree with a take of mine. But this is kind of where I'm at right now, man. From my viewpoint, the Chiefs, have gone 2 straight years without a true left tackle and a healthy, reliable skill position player, or a list of skill position players. Therefore, the explosiveness in this offense didn't really exist or hasn't really existed. So I get why coming into this season, Patrick Mahomes was chomping at the bit. He could not wait to unleash this offense that's going to push the ball downfield and, make these big, exciting plays like they did from 2018 to 2022. This is just that fun offense again. We all like it. We all love it. And Patrick Mahomes loves it more than any of us because it's him that gets to lead that way. But now it feels as if this offense is stuck in this almost swing for the fences type of mentality, and oftentimes loses all sight in what has helped them overcome their inefficiencies in 2023 and 2024. And that's the on-schedule plays. See, the Bills game was the prime example of this. It felt as if the Chiefs' entire game plan was Mahomes just drop back, scramble around, avoid the pressure here and there, and then look for something 20 to 30 yards downfield, wait for it to unlock, and let's go ahead and just drop that ball down there and see what happens. And that's what it felt like the entire time, and the Chiefs fell right into the Bills' trap. Mm-hmm. Because that was their game plan. Drop 7, drop 8, sit guys in zone, don't give any space, and make Patrick Mahomes have to dink and dunk, or have to run the ball, things of that nature, and the Chiefs just refused to do it, and the Bills won because of that reason. There was no offensive fluidity whatsoever, and it cost them again. The Chiefs' offense has got to get back to running a more sound, efficient offense. The big, magical Mahomes plays are what can and will separate the Chiefs from the pack, but those need to be treated more as a break glass in case of emergency type plays. We've seen Mahomes line up under center. Yeah. We've seen him drop back and deliver the ball. As I said to Rob Collins last week, I've been talking to people all week long about this. My favorite game of the entire Mahomes era to this point, we've seen a lot of doozies, man. We've seen some fun ones, was the game against the Steelers, his third career start, when he had 6 touchdowns and 5 incompletions. That is unbelievably impressive. Had like 326 yards, completed over 70% of his passes, and the Chiefs won. But it wasn't the stats that wowed me, even though they're unbelievable. It was the way he played in that game. It was this 3 to 5 step drop, deliver the ball with precision down the field to Kels, to anybody else that was catching the ball that day, and make plays that way. It protected Mahomes where he didn't have to scramble around, take unnecessary hits. It didn't feel like the offense was ever out of sync. In fact, the offense was just clicking all day long. Do you expect that to happen every single week? Of course not. But that doesn't mean that you can't replicate it from time to time and keep that as more of a normalcy in your offense.
Yeah.
But the Chiefs offense has got to get more. It's got to get back to things like that, those type of plays. Like I said, we've seen them do it time and time again. We need to see it more because that alone opens up the run game, and opening up the run game opens up play action, which is when this offense is simply unstoppable. Because even though the Chiefs aren't going to run the ball a lot, especially with the injuries they've already sustained to their run game, even with that, you have to still make the defense respect the threat of it. You still have to get the people to respect the chance or the potential that you may run the ball here, even though they might not believe that you're going to actually dedicate yourself to a run game. We know that that's not how it's going to be here in Kansas City under Andy Reid. But you still have to be able to add that, like I said, that threat, that diversity to your offense. Otherwise, more defenses are just going to do what the Bills just did. And the Bills were one of the more banged-up defenses the Chiefs are going to face all season. And they were able to diffuse it. Yeah. So that if the Chiefs want to play this downfield attack and push the ball downfield type of offense, set yourself up for the success and play things underneath. And that's how you get those shot plays. And if I know this, the Chiefs have to. That's my whole issue. If I can sit here, some dipshit fan that has 2 eyeballs that watches the games, I have to imagine the guys that are working 65 hours a week watching film can go, you know what? That's the problem. Because there's not a talent disparity. There's not a talent issue with the Chiefs. It's clearly just an execution issue. And does that not falter completely on brand with everything we've been talking about this year about how when the Chiefs have lost games, it's not because they've just been simply outmatched or they just look like, oh my God, dude, they're just an inferior team. It's been this execution, the situational awareness, situational football that's cost them every single damn time. That's why they went from 11-0 last year in one-score games to 0-4 this year in one-score games. Because last year, even though they didn't have the talent around Mahomes, situationally, they executed correctly. They're not a better team. They were not a better team last year. This is clearly a more talented roster this season.
Yeah.
So why are they 0-4 in one-possession games? Because they're not doing the things they did before that got the job done, that got them to 3 straight Super Bowls. These last 2 teams the Chiefs went to the Super Bowl with, they had no business being in the Super Bowl. Those teams had no left tackle, a disparity at wide receiver, a disparity at running back, issues on the defensive line, and they still got there, sometimes with relative ease. So what the hell, man? Why is this team now struggling so much when they're clearly more talented?
Well, I have a theory.
Go ahead,
for me, I think the Chiefs at times have been victims of their own success. I think there's never been a better superhero in football history than Patrick Mahomes. And when you need to play hero ball, that means there's something going wrong, or there's a crime that needs to be taken care or taken care of. You know what I mean? And I feel like we play better with our backs against the wall. That's why we've been so good when we trail by 10. Oh, Chiefs are going to win. They're trailing by 10.
Right.
That's because Pat is so good at playing hero ball because his intangibles are insane and his ability to find ways to win when his back's against the wall. But we struggle when we know we should just win this game and just play straight up football and win this game. But yet like I said, we become victims to our own success because we've won so many games off just the heroics of Patrick Mahomes. We become comfortable and complacent with, Pat will figure it out.
Right.
And when it doesn't happen, we're like, wait, what the fuck? There's no rhythm to this offense. You can't have it both ways. Right. You know what I mean? So we got to find a happy medium. And I think a lot of that starts with having a solid running game. Running the ball 15 to 20 times at least a game. We don't do that. I think we've run the ball 20 times a game once this year, like 20 straight up rushes. You know what I mean? So, I think that's finding some balance. I think it will help Patrick Mahomes kind of set in and get the offense some, like you said, rhythm. But like I said, man, I think that there's a lot of heroicism to this offense with Patrick Mahomes, and I think Patrick's developed some bad habits out of that as well. Let's be very real. Like Patrick's, try to wing it too much. I think Patrick needs to go and have 1-2 reads, and if he doesn't have it, throw the ball away. Next play. Stop trying to make something happen every time. And I get it. Like, we love it because it's the heroics of Patrick Mahomes, and that's what's made him great and who he is.
Yeah.
Like, right out the gate in 2017, when we saw him in that Denver game, like, okay, this guy has got it. But can he do the normal day in, day out, the routine type things? That's where we're struggling, is the routine, the vanilla.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're constantly trying to figure things out and make big plays out of nowhere. And, like, sometimes it's just better just to throw the ball away, take the next play, or don't take a nasty sack when you don't have to. It's completely avoidable. Don't hold on the ball too long. We don't need you to do that every play, Pat. I think Pat's developed some bad habits, and he's not, he's not exempt from criticism too. You know what I mean? Last week was a horrible. The last game was a fucking. That might have been the worst game I've ever seen from Pat in a regular season game.
Right.
One of the worst I've ever seen. Especially knowing who he is and what he's capable of. So I think we've fallen victim to our own success because we've been so successful while playing games this way and just figuring it out against great teams. And in several Super Bowls, we've won Super Bowls coming trailing from behind every time. You know what I mean? So it's like I said, we know we can do it, but sometimes I would like to just go play a team straight up and just play some simple football. And we know we have the dogs. That's what's so frustrating. We have Rasheed back. We got Xavier Worthy. We got to have guys that can beat people over the top and underneath after the catch. We got Travis Kelce, one of the greatest tight ends of all time. We have Andy Reid who can draw them up like anybody else. Just do that. We have Kareem Hunt who can get the short yardage stuff. We have, we don't have the best running back room, but we have guys that can go get you 4 or 5 yards, a snap. You know what I mean? And when teams are daring us to run the ball, run it.
Right.
We don't do that. That's what's frustrating. Like, sometimes it's okay to take what defenses are giving you.
Yeah.
We don't do that enough. We're so defiant. And we're so Patrick Mahomes driven, which warranted. I get it. Sometimes it's okay to just hand the ball off and just play some methodical football. We become very impatient. And I think we thrive on the heroics of Patrick Mahomes. And it's fun. And it gets the pulse going. But sometimes I'll take a boring win if we run the ball 35 times. I'm fine with that. Like this week right now. If we go run the ball 35 times against the Broncos and win by 10, hell yeah. Let's go. Give defenses something else to think about other than Pat having to create something every play. You know what I mean? Have to be waving the magical wand all the time.
Well, and
so I just think we're victims to that success of that because we've been so successful while winning games like this.
Yeah, that's a great
point. But now that it's kind of like we're starting to lose some games like that, it's like, okay, we need some more consistent, just regular rhythm to our offense.
Yeah.
Some Jared Goff. Let's have some just play action plays where we can just get the ball out to somebody who's wide open, that's schemed wide open. That would be cool. You know what I mean? Instead of Pat having to like scramble out of the pocket, But yeah, man, I just think there's a lot of that to this offense. I think there's a lot of just dependency on Patrick Mahomes just figuring it out, and that's not really fair to us or Patrick Mahomes.
Well, if you're and then to the point of, you know, because we had years ago, I remember Brandon Kiley joined our show back when we were used to do shows in our brother Brandon's apartment, and Brandon Kiley was sitting across from me right where you're at, Trevor, and I was asking him these same kind of questions, because even years ago I was talking about these things with the Chiefs and their issues in 2019. I remember he said, well, let's just run the ball through the air. Well, okay, in theory that sounds great, but that's the problem, is the Chiefs don't do that. You can technically run the ball through the air by doing drag routes and bubble screens and things of that nature. How many times do you see the Chiefs do that?
Right.
It doesn't happen.
And that was my case against going after Breece Hall. Like, why are we going to go give up a 4th round pick for a guy to run the ball, to give him 12 rushes?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if we're a team that's going to lean on a guy like that, cool, I'm with that. And let Patrick Mahomes just cook whenever he needs to. I'm cool with that. Have an elite running back, but that's just it's something we don't do. And I don't think, like, you know, I don't think we need like an elite runner. We never have needed an elite runner, you know. But I mean, I just don't think we. I just, like, I agree with you. I just think the balance is very off right now, and the rhythm is non-existent.
Yep. We
have guys that are so good. Like Rashee Rice is a fucking superstar. He's a superstar. Getting the ball in his hands, anything can happen. That guy is so good after the catch. He's in my opinion, he's along the lines of the Puka Nakuas and the Jamar Chases guys after the catch. Anything can happen.
Right.
He's that good. So I understand that we can have a guy that can just do that. Kelsey used to be that guy back in the day too. Just get him in space, get him open. He's going to beat the zone no matter who's out. Whatever. We've had dogs on this offense. We have guys that can beat people over the top. We have Xavier Worthy, when healthy, is an absolute threat deep. But yeah, man, we need to get the ball out quickly, figure things out, get some rhythm, run the ball. You know what I mean? Like Kareem Hunt, when given the opportunity, as old as he is and as busted as a lot of people think that, as dust as a lot of people think the dude is, when given the opportunity, he's got burst.
And the biggest
issue, he doesn't have great downfield speed, but you need to get a yard or 6.
Yeah.
He's going to get it.
And that's the biggest issue with the way they even use Kareem sometimes. We watch even in this Bills game where you got Patrick Mahomes lined up in shotgun.
Yeah,
and you hand it up to Kareem like that. I'm like, you guys do understand.
Get him under center.
He's a 30-year-old back.
Yeah.
Line up under center, get him a head start.
Yeah.
And then hand the ball off, and he's already running, as opposed to setting up a shotgun, gets the ball, and then takes off. That's not how this should work, man.
And especially in the Bills game, bro. Like, that's what pissed me off the most. Like, they were literally the entire game daring us to run the ball.
Right.
They were bringing 3 and 4. They were never really blitzing us. They were never stacking the line. The box was very rarely stacked. They were just daring us to run the ball, and we just refused to do it, bro.
Our guy,
frustrating.
Our guy John Harris said, got up early, grouted the tile job, back home in time to watch your shows. Feel special. Shout out to Johnny Harrison, man. He's our capologist. He's our unofficial statistician. The guy, well, I'll make it official. He's our official statistician. So I'm glad that John gets to hang out with us live. As well. John also added the Colts, Chargers, Cowboys, and Giants all had over 100 rushing against them. They need to run the ball for balance and make them tackle. Don't get into long third downs and let them pass rush. I think he's talking about the Broncos,
and on top of that, too, let's be honest right now. Last couple seasons, offenses have been down across the league.
Yeah.
Scoring, like offensive scoring, has been down across the league compared to like the last decade, because scoring was like going crazy, especially like the first few years of Pat's career.
Yeah.
Like what we were doing, like the Rams and Lions, a lot of these teams, and a bit the Ravens, Bills, a lot of these teams have been scoring in bunches, big, huge, explosive games. That's kind of coming down a lot.
Right.
Scoring's coming down a lot. Defenses are starting to figure out a lot of things schematically. That's slowing a lot of offenses down.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs got to stop being so, in my opinion, boneheaded.
Right.
Just living and dying by, you know what I mean? Like, take what the defenses are giving you, bro.
Yeah.
Like, if they're giving you everything underneath, keep doing that. We have the guys that can beat those guys in a race. If it's one-on-ones, you can get the ball out quick to Rashee, or get the ball out quick to Xavier, even Hollywood Brown, or even Kelsey, getting that little Hakeem the Dream move. Just get the ball out quickly. Keep moving the sticks. Like, we don't need the big play all the time. We don't need, you know what I mean? Like, I think with the Chiefs, you need to kind of just reel it in and just play some straight up smash mouth football, run the ball, get the ball out quick strikes, first 1 to 2 reads, and then get the ball out if you need to, throw it away, let the play the next play. Stop trying to, like, obviously, Pat, when need be, create things with your legs, do things what you need to do. Pat's been running a lot this year. It's helpful, but like at the same time, man, Andy Reid, I think, just needs to simplify the game a little bit more.
It's almost like
complex.
It's almost like the way this whole era started, where everything just seems so easy, and they're just throwing the ball all over the field. That I don't want to say that like ruined things, but like, because obviously, you know, the Chiefs have unprecedented success, but we're looking at the micro. We're looking at the micro issues. the reason this offense sometimes gets in these funks is, like I said, it's all self-inflicted, and I think it's because of the fact they're trying to relive the glory days of whenever they were able to do that. But guys, the reality is, even though yes, Rashee Rice is awesome, his skill set to Tyreek's is completely different.
It's not
so
fun.
you can't run the same offense when Tyreek Hill's not here.
It's not fun to go out there and run a vanilla offense because we all know Pat is a guy who's kind of an adrenaline junkie.
Yes,
Pat loves that, and I think Andy Reid is the same way. I think that's why they're a perfect marriage.
Yes,
that's why. It's funny because that's why we kind of like hated the dynamic between Andy Reid and Alex Smith, because Alex Smith was such a vanilla guy.
Right.
Andy Reid's kind of like this risque coach, play caller kind of guy who wants to drop some weird stuff and kind of like insult the opposition.
Right.
Andy Reid is a dog like that. So I think him and Pat have that same gene. They're very much, they want to like almost embarrass and kind of flex on the other team, but there's too much of that sometimes. Just play some simple, like I said, a little Jared Goff it a little bit.
Right.
You know what I mean? We don't need sexy all the time, bro. So, but our guy, Clear the Air with E has a nice little analogy.
Oh, yeah.
Make it like a devilish fight where he just jumps on your back the whole fight and knees you in the back of the leg.
That's a great
the
one.
whole fight until the other fighter is frustrated and then go for the knockout, bro.
Everybody hates his style, but it works. He's the champ. He's the GOAT.
And you don't. That's what's frustrating to me too, because I know we don't have an elite runner in the backfield or anything, but like our O-line is very good. Our guards are very good. You don't think Trey Smith and them boys, Creed and them boys, want to just line up and just go run through motherfuckers' faces, bro, and let Kareem Hunt just work these dudes?
All the offensive linemen on this team right now
they would
have
love
better,
to just run the
run grades than they do pass grades, because that's
and
actually,
we've seen it.
Right, that's what's so confusing about it. It's like, so you build an offensive line of guys that can run block so well, but you're not running the ball. Like,
or run some RPOs a little bit more. We haven't been doing enough of that either.
You set RPOs and play
Pat's
action.
been a run threat all year too.
Yeah, RPOs and play action are at their absolute peak when you establish the run game.
Right.
When defenses know they got to put 7-8 guys in the box, and then you set them up with those plays. It's so simple.
When has this offense looked the most open? When Pat's out there scrambling and making runs, and the defense is like, shit, Pat just ran for 25 yards.
Right.
If you're giving the running back runs and they're getting 10 to 15 on a couple plays, shit, we got to stack the box a little bit. We got to bring everybody up. That's when you can start dinking them over the middle. And
if you are so hell-bent on running the ball through the air, then pass the ball to your running backs. Like, Brashard Smith now has to start getting involved. He has to.
I fully expect him to be out of the bye for sure.
That's a part of the game plan that needs to be integrated. I don't know when our guy Brad SYMCOX will be here. I'm assuming in the next couple of minutes. So Trevor, you just give me the flag whenever he gets down. But the one thing I do want to add before he gets in here is we obviously know the news that Josh Simmons is back. He's practiced. He's been a full participant all week. And I'm going to hold that thought for just a second because Trevor just gave me the eyeballs. And when I get the eyeballs, I know what that means because we are in a position to have a great conversation. So I hope you guys are ready for this. It's been too long. I own up to it. It's my fault this is taking so long. But you know what? I'm making things right that have been wronged. We are so honored. We're so pleasured to have the great, the one, the only, from Arrowhead Abroad. A great show, by the way, that I failed to give a shout-out initially to, and he called me out for it, and it's totally fair. He's here today to have a blast. We're here today to have a blast. We're here to talk some Chiefs football. Let's give it up for the one, the only, BRIT Chiefs.
What's going on, man?
How we doing, guys?
Dude, we are doing great.
Splendid.
I'm so happy you're here, buddy. I've missed you to death. It's been way too long to have. I think it's been well over 2 years since we had you on the show. Too long. That's the point. And you're here now. And first of all, how the hell are you? How the hell is your computer doing? Because you told me there was a little bit of an issue, man. Is everything all right?
Yeah. I think it's been on overdrive lately. I've been trying to do some more hype videos, and I think I'm just cooking it. I think I'm just cooking the hard drive at the minute. So it's it needed an update, I think.
Understood, man. We've had issues with ours as well, so we're in the same boat. But you know what, dude? Speaking of being in the same boat, I gave a shout out earlier to all the Chiefs community content creators that I respect, that I love, that I follow. You guys are definitely one of those shows out there, man. Arrowhead Abroad. I mean, you guys have been doing this thing for a while now as well, just like we have. Kind of just, give the people a little synopsis of what's going on out there with you guys, man. How often are you guys putting content out there? What's been some of your guys' viewpoints on things out there? Like, because I know that, with everything growing on the other side of the pond, if you will, what's been the vibe in that region, man, when it comes to football becoming more of or American football being more of a prominent figure out there, man?
Yeah, I mean the Arrowheads Abroad podcast has been going on for quite some time. I actually took a step back from it because I did quite a bit of work in for local Kansas City kind of stations and stuff. which was absolutely fantastic. And I've actually kind of taken a step back from that since then. But the guys at Our Heads Abroad are just, they're sending out podcasts every now and again, and just keeping the wheels moving on it, you know. And you're right, Lance. It's massive over here now. You know, the Chiefs, because they've got the UK market now. There's an open door now, which is fantastic. Where we're talking with the Chiefs quite a bit, and they've actually done a watch party recently in London, which was I unfortunately couldn't get to it in the end, but the lads went down there, and it was a great time. They've had such a great time. The Chiefs were down there. We had the KC Wolf, or the UK version of KC Wolf, there as well, which was good. It just seems like now that it's fair game now, because we've been waiting in the wings a little bit, because I know the Chiefs got Germany, and I think they got Brazil and places like that, and we were waiting our turn, ready for, you know, hopefully the Chiefs will be our team, or one of the teams that is actually selected for the UK. Because obviously we've got the Jags. I think we've got, who's the other one? There's a few others anyway. I can't remember. It doesn't really matter, does it? But the Kansas City Chiefs got the UK market, and it was fantastic for us, because, like I said, the gates are kind of opened up with the Chiefs organization now, which means we can now start doing things with them and arranging these watch parties, and hopefully, fingers crossed. I mean, I've not heard anything yet, but fingers crossed, there could be a rumor that there might actually be an Ireland game. That's just out there at the moment, because I know they've been using quite a lot of the kind of Irish media as well, which is brilliant. The guys in the Irish media for the NFL is absolutely out of this world, and what they've done over there to actually bring all of that to the likes of Dublin. We saw one game recently this year, which was in Dublin, didn't we? And it's growing massive over here. I mean, look, we've even got the Spain game, which is the Dolphins and Commanders. So, you know, it's really bubbling over here now. The NFL is definitely here, and it's definitely planted its flag in Europe. And I'm looking forward to seeing more football, man. I really can't wait.
Yeah, man, that's the thing about this whole movement. I guess that's the right way of putting it. Is, you know, initially being, you know, a stubborn middle class Midwest American, when I heard that, you know, they're going to start adding games, you know, on the other side of the world, I wasn't so stoked about it, because I felt like, oh man, they're taking it away from our home games and things of that nature. And then I remember you and I had to talk about this, and I had what they call perspective for the first time, and I was willing to see things from a different point of view, and I realized I'm trying to put myself in the position of, man, imagine if I was some big American football fan. If I was a Chiefs fan, I lived in another part of the world just because geographically, you know, that was just the luck I had. I would want to be able to see a game or two every once in a while, man. I would like to see the population or the popularity of it grow, of something I'm so passionate about, see that around me. So I kind of stepped out of that. Now I've realized, man, it's becoming a global sport, and for that fact, I'm excited about it. I mean, I want to see as many games at Arrowhead as possible. But if I know there's a fan out there that, say there's some like 10-year-old kid that is the biggest Patrick Mahomes fan, and he knows that him and his dad get to go to that game, and it's in, you know, Wembley or wherever it's at, that's a great scenario in my mind. That gives me real peace. That makes me feel good about that, man, is that opportunity for that kid to make those memories with his family. He'll remember that for the rest of his life. So he'll be able to tell his kids and his grandkids those kinds of stories. For that, man, I think it's more than worth it. So I know it's a business move in the grand scheme of things, but it's good to see that. But, you know, Brad, I want to get your thoughts on everything on the field right now, man, because, you know, Trevor and I, we jumped on the show, and my initial rant, if you will, today was talking about the Chiefs' offense and the issues I'm having with how they play at times, in particular in games like this Bills game. We had our guy from Kansas City's Fox 4's news channel, Rob Collins, on the show last week, and I addressed this with him as well, and he agreed with me. The thing that frustrates me about this offense isn't the potential or the lack of it. We know that's there. We know the skill is there. We know the results have been there. The issue is watching this offense get so clunky with all these off-schedule plays to where it feels like that's what they're relying on. When you watch this game against the Bills, the Chiefs are relying on Mahomes to do the magical plays, when in my opinion, that's not what you should rely on. Those should be the break glass in case of emergency type plays, because we know he can do those things, and that's what can separate you. But the on-schedule plays are what I want to start seeing more of. I want to see Mahomes line up under center, hand the ball off, line up under center, three-step drop, deliver the ball, protect himself from himself sometimes. There needs to be more fluidity in this offense. And you saw in this Bills game, that's the trap they fell into. The Bills said, hey, we'll drop 7-8 guys in zone. You beat us underneath, or you run the ball. We dare you to do it. And the Chiefs refused to do that, and they just kept trying to chuck the ball downfield. Patrick Mahomes scrambling around, and that's why he completed less than 50% of his passes. That can't continue. They have to get in the film. They have to understand that the best way to execute an offense is to be in scheme, to be fluid. And when you need a big third down or fourth down play, let Patrick do the magical things he does. But that's not something they should be relying on, especially as he's getting into his 30s now, because we know that you age quickly in this league. Is that the same way you're seeing it, Brad, or do you think they need to continue to do the way they're doing and it's just going to work out?
It's really a strange one, because over the last few weeks, I suppose, when we obviously got the likes of Rashee Rice back, there was a very much a hype up, wasn't there? That it's like, right, here we go. This is what we're going to actually see, because we've got everybody fit again. The offense looked as though it was cooking a few weeks prior to the Bills game, and you just thought, this is it now. We're going to kick on. We're going to make sure that this team has got it now. We're going to show you exactly what this offense can do. And it did, for a while, seem like it was back like 2019 offense for a bit. But you're right. I think what a lot of teams are doing now are actually cutting out that long, deep threat. And they know, obviously, you've got the likes of Worthy, and you've got the likes of Rice, and obviously Travis Kelce as well. You've got a good offense there that Mahomes really wants to do the Hollywood passes. I always call them the Hollywood passes, because that's the kind of thing that he's looking for, isn't it? It's the big show game. It's the, it's like, big time football, and Mahomes really wants to kind of showcase his arm. And but I think a lot of these teams, especially the Bills have been built for a while to try and beat the Chiefs, and they have been in the regular season a lot. So it's not something I've really kind of worried about. But I think the fact that you're right, what you're saying there, dropping off the players, dropping off the defense, and saying, right, okay, throw it underneath, we dare you. And it's almost like Mahomes is trying to take it on by trying to open something up with the Hollywood pass. And I think it's something what Trev said earlier. Actually, I was watching the show before I came on, and it is almost like Mahomes needs to just take what's given to him. And we've been so used to seeing the game manager type quarterbacks in the Chiefs for a lot of years, and a check down sometimes that would be nice. A screen that would be nice. Short routes that would be nice. Just something that would keep the ball rolling, meticulously rolling down the field. But using the run game, that seems to be one of those that the Chiefs don't really kind of put a lot of stock in towards it. Yes, we've got Kareem Hunt, and I love the fact we got Kareem Hunt back. It's fantastic that we got him back, because seeing the early days of Kareem Hunt when he first joined the Chiefs before the incident, he was trucking guys like there was nobody's business. And it was that kind of player. I thought, that's what we need. Now we just need somebody a bit more dynamic, who is probably like a Breece Hall, is like an HA or something like that can really open up these defenses. And if the defense is dropping off like that, give it to the running back, do the short plays. And that's the thing that I think Mahomes needs to kind of click into gear, is going, right, okay, this is what they're giving me. This is what I'm taking. And if it's a boring game and we win the game, it's still a win, isn't it? So I'm with you guys on this. I'm 100% with you guys that this is what Mahomes, I think this is more of a Mahomes issue than it is actually a coaching issue or a offensive coordinator issue. Yeah, okay, there might be some bad calls there, but I think Mahomes just needs to really start saying, right, I should stop being the man as often as I am.
Yep. That's a great take. And it's funny you mentioned some of the things you mentioned, because I'm always a solution-driven person. I don't like to be somebody who just complains about a situation. I like to be somebody who's like, okay, I'm clearly pissed about this. I'm bitching about it. Let's find a solution, or let's find solutions, and let's start throwing stuff against the wall and see what happens. So if we can put it on the screen here, Trevor, my 3 solutions for the Chiefs moving forward, it's deeper than just the offense. It's also for the defense. I want to get your thoughts on this, Brad, if that's okay. So my 3 in-house solutions, because obviously the Chiefs didn't do anything during the trade deadline. This is what I think the Chiefs need to do. They need to give Ashton Jalati more snaps than Charles Omenihu. We've seen Charles Omenihu plenty. He's played almost 300 snaps this season, and he played 84 more snaps this year than 𝚂𝙿𝙸𝚂, and their numbers are almost identical in pressures, tackles, and sacks. That's an issue. So give the younger player that's got more potential at this point of his career more of those snaps. That's my first opinion. The second one, utilize Xavier Worthy's speed with more jet sweeps and outside rush attempts. We've seen that for whatever reason this season, maybe it's due to the injuries he's sustained, Xavier's not that downfield threat we all anticipated he was going to be. He just has not been that. I don't know why. Maybe that'll change, but that's not the case. Okay, well, they're also not running the ball. So if they're not going to do either thing, where they're not going to utilize him downfield and they're not running the ball, utilize him in more of these gimmicky style of plays that can open up some of these downfield plays like we've been talking about. My third and final one, get 𝚂𝙿𝙾𝙺𝙴 more involved at edge rush. I'm not saying he's the fix at all. I'm not saying he's going to be the guy that, that just takes him to the next level. But we have seen in spurts when Leo has gotten chances to go after the quarterback, it has added substantial pressure. It has added something, an element they have been missing from their other guys on a normal basis. I like the fact that Spags utilized these cool corners and safety blitzes, but I also kind of like him when he uses his linebackers at getting after the quarterback, and I think Leo, by far, is the best at getting after the quarterback of all the linebackers on this team. What do you think of these three solutions? And if you have any others, man, feel free to add them.
Yeah, I mean the one about Worthy, I think it's interesting to say that separation wise, he's not getting it. And that to me is actual concern, because you would think somebody with that kind of speed would easily get some separation downfield. And I would throw something in there of using Thornton a bit more, because he already got that rapport early on in the season. He was showing some great plays, man. He was really looking like a real decent downfield threat that Mahomes was really opened up to. And we've not used him since Rashee Rice came back. But, I mean, I suppose, who do you kind of drop? You got Hollywood Brown there and you got Worthy. But I agree with you. I think using Worthy more of DeAnthony Thomas kind of role would be something that you've nailed on, really, because a lot of the jet sweeps was a key part of his game. He was a fast, speedy player as well, wasn't he? He was one of the fastest in college. And if you're using Worthy in that, and they did use that previously with Worthy. I think the first game he played, he scored it was almost like a jet sweep or a handoff, wasn't it, from Mahomes?
Yep.
The Ravens.
And making that kind of transition from, okay, yeah, he's not really that separating deep threat that we need, or that we've got, that we actually need. Let's just kind of mix it up a little bit. Let's get these defenses really questioning where he's going to be and what's going to happen. And then you've got that silent threat of Thornton right now as well, because I think if you can manage to get all four of those clicking somehow, I think this really kind of mixes it up a bit more and gets the defenses questioned a bit.
That's great. Yeah.
Going back to what you were saying about Shenault as well. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you on that as well. He's been really one of the bright sparks of this team so far this season, and I want to see more of him.
Yeah, man, that's the whole point. Is the Chiefs decided this is our bed. This offseason they handled things the way they did. The trade deadline they handled things the way they did. Fine, I can live with that, because this team has built that trust, that benefit of the doubt. Go out and do it, but you can't keep doing things the same exact way and expect it to change. That is literally the definition of insanity. Trust me, I know that. Insane person myself. That you have to make some changes. You have to make some adequate changes, man. I think these are just a couple ideas that I, wanted to kind of throw out there and see what people thought about. We know that Josh Simmons is back, and we were talking about this right before you jumped in, or at least I was jumping into it. That automatically makes the Chiefs that much better. I appreciate everything Jalen Moore did. I admittedly was somebody that coming into the season said Jalen Moore is going to be the starting left tackle for this team this season. And because of Josh Simmons' injury, I think they're going to ease him into his career with the 5-year option, 5th-year option, his rookie deal. They have a lot of time to work with him. He'll be the 2026 left tackle. Clearly wrong, because Josh Simmons healed faster than any other human being. I swear he's Wolverine. And came in, took the left tackle job day one, and showed this is that dude. If he wouldn't have torn his patellar tendon, he would have been the number 1 left tackle taken in this draft, not Will Campbell. So this guy's real. He's for real. Then he disappears for over a month, has his family situations, but now he's back. And it's this weird thing, Brad. I don't know if you've been hearing it or seeing it at all, but a lot of Chiefs fans here locally are concerned about Josh Simmons taking the reins back at left tackle. And I don't understand that, because I'm looking at this from the perspective of, let's say Josh Simmons against the Jaguars would have got injured and he'd been out this whole time because of an injury. But this week he came back and practiced all week long. He would play Sunday. But for some reason, he's been away from football, not injured, and now he's back in his practice all week. People are wondering if that's the right decision to make. Why? He's not injured. Now, I understand there might be the concern of, is he in football shape? Guys, he hasn't been gone for 6 months. We're talking about a 21-year-old freak athlete that has been practicing his ass off and working his ass off for the better part of the last year with this team. So he's clearly going to be fine with getting back. And people are like, well, Nick Benito and Zach Allen, and they got all these dangerous guys. That is literally his job. That is what he does. He shuts down these kind of guys. I don't understand the fear. It's clear as day he needs to be starting Sunday. Where do you stand on this, Brad?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's not as if he's, he's retired from football and come back after a season or two and he's not match fit. I mean, we saw something similar with Kareem Hunt when he returned. Yeah, okay, he might have been a bit podgy around the edges, but other than that, he came back with a bang. And seeing the fact that there's Chiefs fans out there thinking that Josh Simmons is not quite ready for this, he's been ready all season. He's been ready for this. This is what he's been playing for. This is what he's been training for, and this is how he was trying to get back so quickly into this team. Just because he's been off a few weeks, I don't see it. I really don't see it. I think I think he's more than ready. I think whatever the family issue was, and obviously that's something that's down to him and his family. I'm sure he's going to come back really kind of putting the bit between the teeth and really kind of going for it. You know what I mean? And he's got something to prove to himself rather than anybody else, and that's the way to be.
Yeah. Now going to this Broncos matchup, I'm not going to hold back here, Brad, and we have a whole preview to do in a little bit with the audience here, but this is a paramount game. I don't like to get into the whole, is it a must win? Is it, the need to win kind of game? I don't really need to get into that conversation, because what I know needs to happen is the Chiefs need to have that mentality going in this game, whether it's a must win game or not. Your backs are against the wall, more so than probably ever, or at least in a few years. This is not a game that you can take lightly or say, yeah, we just didn't bring the energy today. Sorry, guys, we'll get better next week. No. None of that, Andy. None of that, Patrick. This is a game. You bring your A game. I know that we talk about it all the time. The Chiefs have, they got big picture mentality, where let's get to the playoffs. Let's get to the playoffs healthy. Well, this is a game that's going to get you in the playoffs if you win. So this isn't a game you can, screw around with. This is a game you got to take seriously. It's a divisional game. You're in third place in your own division. You're not even in the playoffs right now. Enough with the lack of energy talk. Bring the energy. Bring the A game. Go in there on a road game, in a hostile environment, and win that damn game. I look at this matchup, and I see a lot of favorable things for them, Brad. What are you seeing in this matchup? How do you see this thing playing out, man?
Well, it's going to be a difficult game against the defense. I think this Broncos defense is no joke, and that's the kind of thing that's really got this Denver Broncos team rolling. I think, okay, Bo Nix has flashed here and there. He kind of got found out in the previous game, but other than that, this Broncos defense has been the kind of the standard, and the Chiefs really need to take this seriously. I mean, the Broncos have been almost like the whipping boys over the last few seasons. We can't take this game lightly. It isn't just one of those regular kind of AFC West kind of matchups. This is something that matters. It is very much, I think this is almost the deciding factor of who probably will be top in the AFC West at this point, because if the Broncos win this, the Chiefs are way out in the distance of this. And the Broncos could be one of those that, if they can get their offense right and firing on all cylinders with Bo Nix, then absolutely they could probably go on and win this. But it's like we were saying about the Chiefs and the Bills. Mahomes really needs to kind of play smart in this game, because this defense is no joke. If we can get Mahomes playing how we expect him to play, obviously doing some flash throws and things like that, but actually involving everybody in this. And like we were saying, you know, get the underneath throws going in, get the screens coming, get the run game going as well. You know, make this defense, this Denver Broncos defense, work, because it has been stagnant. It has been predictable with this offense. Hopefully, this is something that the Chiefs can work out and obviously, you know, really kind of apply the pressure on it. But I don't think I'm as bothered by the Broncos offense. It's the defense that is really the key for them to winning this game. And like you said, it's an interesting environment there as well, isn't it?
Absolutely. And that's kind of my next question. We just have a couple more questions for you, Brad. And again, dude, thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with us today, man. It means a lot.
I'm enjoying it.
When it comes to this matchup, like Trevor and I've never done this with a guest before, but I want to do this today because I really do want to get your insight on this. We always talk about key players of matchups. Trevor and I always give like one player on offense, one player on defense. Sometimes it's both sides, you know, both on one side. But not to put you on the spot here, but we know the magnitude of this matchup. We understand that this, like you just said, Chiefs lose this game. I would dare to say the AFC West is probably out of the question for the Chiefs. Like maybe they go on a big run and the Broncos go on a big losing streak, possibly. But you're talking about you don't have the tiebreaker with the Chargers. You don't have the tiebreaker with the Broncos. What I'm basically saying is there needs to be a step-up factor with some of the big players. We know that Chris Jones has been a guy that we have all been able to rely on for many years now, for a decade literally, of being the dude. And it has not been the case this year, and you're seeing the defense suffer because of it. Even though the defense has been good this year, they have not been able to get adequate pressure on the quarterback, and that has cost the Chiefs a lot. There's, you know, several other players that we could talk about when it comes down, but I want to get your thought. When it comes to who needs, like, we're looking back, and we're saying the Chiefs won this game because of these guys. Who are those players to you, man? You can list off one, you can list off 10. It doesn't matter to me. Who are the players that have to step up in this game, have their game of the season to win this type of game?
Bluntly, I would say Jawaan Taylor needs to be the one that steps up in this, because if Nick Bonitto's coming off that edge, man, he's no slouch. And I honestly think that Jawaan Taylor, he's got the ability. There's no doubt in that, but it just seems to be some of these mind farts every now and again where, you know, he just forgets he's a football player. It's just it's frustrating a lot of the time, and I just think Jawaan Taylor, he's getting the money for this team. He's getting the money in a very highly paid position as well, and I just think he just really needs to step up. If we can get that side sorted, then we can kick on from this, because obviously Simmons coming back on the other side is obviously a key thing as well. But I just think Jawaan Taylor, he just needs to really kind of settle in with this and really kind of key into the moment, because like I said, Bonitto's a quick edge, and you know, if he gets past him, I mean, Mahomes is going to be running for his life again, and it's going to be similar to what we saw with the Bills. And we can't have that. I mean, you're looking at the Broncos defense. So I think it's a base 3-4 defense. They're agile. They're coming at you at all angles. And if you've got that issue on the right tackle, I think this is probably where it's won or lost in this game, because teams have seen if you can suppress Mahomes and you can stop him scrambling. I mean, that's probably one of his favorite sides to scramble to anyway, on the right side. So if he can't scramble out to that right side and Bonitto's in his face, that's going to be a huge issue for this. So Jawaan Taylor really needs to step up his A game on this game. I'm absolutely sure of it.
How many points do you think the Chiefs would have to score in this game? Because you mentioned, you know, it's more about the Broncos defense, clearly. I mean, their defense keeps them at bay, and then fourth quarter, Bo Nix makes a play, and they squeak the victory out. It's like against the Raiders and against pretty much anybody they've beaten outside of the Cowboys, who have maybe the worst secondary in the league. How many points do you think the Chiefs need to score in this game to make you feel comfortable they're going to win that game? Maybe not just decisively, but just period. Like, how many points do the Chiefs have to score to get this victory?
Honestly, I don't think it's going to be a great lot. I think it has to be at least 21 points. I don't think the Denver offense has got it in them. I think their average is something like 17 or 19 points, I think it is. Yeah. So, you know, I don't think they've got that explosive offense that that they need. I think they're very much heavy on the defensive side. And I think if the Chiefs manage to chalk up 21, I absolutely think that that could be enough to actually win this game.
That's I don't know if you do your predictions on websites or, your own stuff. I don't want to, you can tell me respectfully, Lance, I can't give that out yet. But in the case that you would like to, who wins this game? And at the end of the season, when we're looking back at the regular season, getting ready for the postseason, where do the Chiefs, in your opinion right now, and it can change, obviously, you have the right to do that, where do you see the Chiefs landing in the playoff picture, if at all, when the season's over?
Realistically, I wouldn't be surprised if they're actually a wild card team right now. I really wouldn't be surprised with that. I also think that the Chiefs almost deserve it in some kind of way, in some kind of crazy way. We've seen this offense splutter quite a bit over the last few seasons, and we've got away with it. We've got away with it a few times. Obviously, we didn't in the last Super Bowl, which, I promise I wouldn't mention that. But I honestly think that the Chiefs almost diced with death a little bit, especially last season. That offense was getting one-score games. It was just squeaking wins every now and again. It was doing just enough to get the wins. This is different now. We need to be really keyed into the fact that we've got an explosive offense back again. We've got everybody fully fit. There's no excuses on this anymore. We really need to unload, basically. And Mahomes is using a lot more people. There's a lot more wide variety of receivers that he's getting now, which is great. And it's a good sign for us when he's doing that. And he's not just honing in and he's spreading it about and he's making sure that defenses are trying to work out who's getting the ball next. But I honestly think that I think the damage has already been sort of done so far. It's not really defeatist attitude to think that, because the Broncos have obviously got 2-game head start on us at the moment. And, depending on how everything goes this time, it could be 3, So, realistically, at the moment, I would be setting my sights realistically at a wild card kind of playoff run, and it'd be good to do it from the wild card rounds. It's more Chiefs football. Obviously, we wouldn't be getting a bye week and things, but the playoffs are a different kettle of fish, and we've seen that with the Bills. They can't really kind of get the games won in the off season, which in the postseason, which that's where Chiefs kind of come alive. And we've always said the Chiefs have to get into the playoffs.
Right.
And it doesn't matter how they do it, as long as they get there. I think that's when the season starts. When they get into the playoffs, that's when it starts.
Well, and in a weird way, it would almost maybe help. We talk about Patrick Mahomes' legacy in comparison to Tom Brady. It would, in a weird way, in your scenario, if they were to become a wild card team and go to the Super Bowl and maybe some strange, situation they win it, that would almost, I could say, maybe take Patrick Mahomes' legacy to another level, because I don't believe that Tom ever did that. I think every time he won a Super Bowl, he was obviously his division winner, and I think that would be, something, because we always talk about, before Patrick went to Buffalo in the divisional round, and then the Baltimore in the AFC Championship in 2023, the people were using it against him that he always plays home games in the playoffs. Let's see what he can do in the road. And then he goes in there and wins both those games. That definitely upped his legacy. That definitely took him to another level. I feel like that would maybe do that for him, because I think there's only been one team since, I think, 2010. It was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2020, which doesn't really count because it was a COVID year, that have won a Super Bowl as a wild card team. And according to what I'm reading right here. So it's only been one time in the last decade plus. So that would be a rare occasion to see, just like it was a rare occasion to see, Patrick Mahomes the first time since Kurt Warner in 99 or 2000 to be a NFL MVP and Super Bowl champion. First time since the early 2004 Patriots to be repeat champions. Patrick's already been doing these things. So that would be very on brand if you think about it. So let me ask you this question in a very roundabout way. If they were to be that wild card team, do you have the confidence that they could go on that run and win another Super Bowl, win their 4th Super Bowl as a wild card team?
I absolutely think they can. This team can always get to an AFC Championship game at least. especially when you got Mahomes and you got Reed, really kind of that dynamic duo. Literally that's what they do. They prove the doubters wrong. And like you said, we saw it with the run through Buffalo and then through Baltimore. They've never done this before. Well, watch this. It's that kind of mentality that this team has, and you never feel like this team is down and out. You never feel like they're just giving up the rest of the game. I mean, other than the Super Bowl, again, I've mentioned it. You never see this team really kind of getting blown out. They're always in amongst it, and it doesn't matter who's the receiver, who's the running back, as long as you got the quarterback there and you got Kelsey there, and you got Chris Jones there. You've got that core in that team that has that never say die attitude. And so I think a wild card run is almost something that would excite them. It's another new challenge, and that's the kind of thing that Mahomes and Kelsey really kind of thrive on. It's something that, okay, this hasn't been done in a while. Let's try it again. We saw it again with the three-peat attempt. It was first thing he said after he won the second one. We need to do 3. He's always looking for that new challenge, and I think this would be another challenge. Yeah, it would be a lower sighted challenge, but honestly, I think they thrive on that.
Yeah, I think you're right about that too, because you saw a different animosity with the Chiefs when they had to go to Buffalo and they had to go to Baltimore. Like there was a different juice. I hope that juice is still there. I believe it could be still there. For me, I would rather them, get this victory against the Broncos this week, win the next couple of games against them and the Chargers, and then you're sitting yourself probably in a good position to win this division. But I am with you. If there was one team that I could say confidently could be that first team in a long time to win a Super Bowl or get to the Super Bowl as a wild card team, it would obviously be this team. And that's been echoed. We've heard Jim Nantz. We've heard several other national people still give the Chiefs that type of credit because they've earned that. But we do know this is a season-to-season type of league, and it's a what have you done for me lately type of thing. And so far this season, we've seen this Chiefs team be very consistent in their inconsistency. That's got to be what changes the most if they want to make another Super Bowl run. I think they're more capable. Brad, before we get you out of here, man, this is a very important question. You've been to the States a number of times, and you know the delicacies. But I also personally have never been to the UK, and I've heard people try to, take shots at your guys' delicacies over there. Can you let the people know over here in America that that's just hogwash? You guys got good food, right? Like that's a real thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We've got some decent food. I mean, what we've done, everybody knows about Britain and the UK. We've gone around the world and we've kind of gathered up recipes and called them our own. We've colonized a lot of places and we've taken that delicacy and said, all right, this is British now. But you can't go wrong with the fish and chips. You really can't. The fish and chips. When you think of fish and chips over in America, I've had this out with a few people, and they're all thinking fish and chips. You have like chips with your fish, and I'm like, yeah, but they're like, it's not chips as in like as we would call crisps. It's big fat chunky fries, and lashings and lashings of vinegar on it, and loads of salt on it. It's very unhealthy, but it's great. But the batter and the fish is cooked in a certain way that. Honestly, if anybody tries it over from America, it's like it's like a taste explosion. It's fantastic for you. That's the only thing I would say that is something that you have to try over here. I would obviously say, have you heard of a Greg's before? Greg's?
Yeah, you were the one who actually told me about it.
Have I told you about Greg's?
Yeah, you did. I'll never forget it, dude. Well, you talked about it on this show. It was like 3 years ago.
Greg's, man. Greg's. It originated in the northeast from where I actually live, and Greg's has just gone on this massive kind of trajectory of being the English dish. It's like a pasty or a sausage roll, or you can get a pizza slices. Nothing like that in America. Like pizza slices like that, aren't they? But Greg's, it's cheap and cheerful. But yeah, once you know you've had a Greg's, you'll love it. But biscuits and gravy over there. What's the issue with biscuits and gravy over there? We think of biscuits and gravy. We think of custard creams with a bit of Bisto beef gravy poured on the top. What is the deal with that? I've tried it as well, and I just thought I can't get away with this.
You gotta understand, dude. In America, we are really obsessed with being fat. So anything that can get you fat, we eat it. You know what I'm saying? Anything with tons of carbs and fats at the same time, sign us up.
It's true. It's true.
The rest of the world likes
Can
to
I
be
die
healthy.
off
That's just
eating
not a
this?
thing we do here.
Absolutely.
Hey, but Brad, in all seriousness, dude, we got to get you on the show more often. And whenever you're back in the States, I won't be able to buy you English food, but I will definitely hook you up with the best food of your choice. We have great tacos here.
Barbecue.
We have obviously the barbecue's king here, dude. Let me know when you're in town again. We gotta get you. We gotta get you hooked up, dude. It's been way too long. We've actually never met in person, and that pisses me off, dude. That can't happen. That cannot be our story, dude. You've got to unite, brother.
You should have been there when Clay and Shaggy and I went to go and get some barbecue. That was brilliant, man. Jack Stack we went to. So yeah, it would have been great to have you both there, and we can just literally kind of shoot the shit. It'd be brilliant.
Yeah, dude. Yes. I mean, you gotta make the trip. I know it's not easy. I know you got your own life and everything, but dude, you gotta make time for your boys over here in America every once in a while.
Oh,
baby.
that's my life over there, man. That's my life. Yeah. I love it over there. I've been there twice now, and I went there for the Baltimore Ravens game, the banner drop. My first ever banner drop, which was fantastic, and I went 2017, which was that was the kind of mind-blowing experience that I'll never ever forget. And I met so many people there, and it's fantastic. Been to Miami, I've been to Florida and places like that, and nothing really compares to the Kansas City barbecue, and the friendship and the culture over there is brilliant. Love it.
Well, it's all here waiting for you whenever you're ready to get back home, dude. So
I'm ready. I'm coming. All right.
Yeah, dude, we're waiting for you. Literally, me and Trevor are gonna sit here. We're not gonna move until you let us know that you've landed at KCI, and we'll come pick you up.
Sounds good. Yep, I'll let you know.
Before you get out of here, bro, let the people know where they can find you on all the social platforms. Let them know Arrowhead Abroad, everything. Just whatever you want to plug right now. This is your platform, your opportunity to do so. Go.
Yeah, absolutely. Arrowheads Abroad. Obviously, if anybody comes over from the US or Kansas City, if you're ever over in the UK, obviously contact the guys at Arrowheads Abroad. It's on X or Twitter, which is at KC_Chiefs_UK. And like you said, just drop us a line, drop us a message, and we're happy to have people over from Kansas City or wherever in America just to come over and just kind of watch a game, have a beer with us, have a Greg's.
Fish and chips.
Fish and chips. Yeah, we'll give you some fish and chips. But yeah, if you want to contact the guys, we'll get back to you straight away on where we can meet up and have those beers.
Hell yeah, brother. Well, Brad, we really appreciate it, dude. I know you're like 6 hours ahead of us. I know it's not late yet, but you made time in your afternoon/evening, and for that we are humbled, and we very much appreciate you, man. We love you to death, man, and we definitely gonna have you back on the show soon. Okay.
Oh, look, seriously, guys, love you guys. Really happy to be on the show again. It's great to just kind of talk Chiefs football again. It's great. I love it.
Well, we're always here for you, man. You ever want to just jump in the chat to drop knowledge, you're always more than welcome to do that as well. But in the meantime,
I'm learning off you guys. I'm learning off you guys.
Yeah, well, you're in trouble if that's the case. Nevertheless, dude, again, thank you so much for taking the time. I hope that Sunday is good for you, just like it's going to be good for us. Let's get this W, man, and let's keep things pushing. And in the meantime, keep dropping all the great things you put out there, man, and keep being the great person you are. And everybody go and give our guy Brad SYMCOX, the Brit Chief, a follow. Thank you so much, my brother.
Cheers, guys. Thanks very much. Go Chiefs.
Absolutely. Go Chiefs, brother. That's right. That's our guy, Brad SYMCOX, man. Definitely go give him a follow. Like I said, one of the friendliest, coolest, most humble guys you'll ever meet. Always welcoming to everybody that he comes in contact with. He was so cool with me years ago when he started talking to me on social media and just presented himself as just a dude. He didn't come at me hostile or weird or anything like that. Like a lot of people do, which is totally fine. That's, other people's choices. But he was always nice and kind to me. I met him through our brothers Shaggy Shane and Clay Windler. So
definitely would go to the pub with that guy.
Dude, no question about it. Trevor and I aren't even like big drinkers, but I would have multiple pints and a good fish and chips with my dude. And we would talk Guy Ritchie movies. We would do whatever the hell we want to do because we'd be in the motherfucking UK. You know what I'm saying? So again, give our guy a shout out. Give him a follow. Give him some love.
Our guys at All Chiefed Up said, biscuits and gravy is a fat kid's dream. All Southern grandmas love making their grandchildren offensive linemen. Haha. Bro,
so true, dude.
Biscuits and gravy is my favorite breakfast, so I'm right there with you. Hell yeah, with some sausage gravy, bro. Sign me up any day, bro.
Sausage.
it gets nasty real quick. I can kill some freaking.
It becomes very NSFW, if you will. You know what I mean? So
absolutely,
yeah,
bro.
that's all. Yeah, now I'm freaking hungry as hell. That sucks, dude.
Yeah,
might go hit up a Denny's. But no,
Greg, bro.
Shout out to our brother, man. Love you, Brad. Thank you, man, for being here. It means the world to us, bro. You take the time all the way across the freaking world, man, to be with us, man, over here in Kansas City. So, Trev, I do want to continue the conversation before we get to the people, just real quick. I wanted to get your thoughts on the Josh Simmons thing. I don't believe you're going to disagree with the notion that he needs to be in the starting lineup, but just kind of get your thoughts before we get to the people real quick.
Yeah, I mean, so I see, listen, I don't spend a lot of time on social media, so I don't see a lot of these things that you see. I don't see a lot of the internal dialogue that's going on.
It's a nice way of calling me a loser. It's all right.
No. You're this is why you're the goat at this shit. So the discussion is whether he's going to start or be ready to start. That's what's going on. I'm not sure what's really going on with as far as the people. For me personally, if he's practicing all week, there's no excuse.
Right.
There's no reason to think he wouldn't start this game. Quite frankly, we need him to start this game, and I think he knows that the Chiefs need him. I mean, granted, we've been doing okay without him, but we've seen how good this offense, how more comfortable Patrick is when he's out there. I think the dude has elite capabilities. I think we've already seen flashes of that already in his young career. Yep. So any edge we can get on this game, especially against this defense and a divisional foe, we need every edge we can get. And I think that guy being out there against this defensive line is a massive need right now. So I'm on board with him being ready to go. Like I said, our guy John Harrison in the chat earlier said, if you've been practicing all week, that means you're good to go. And I 100% am there with that rhetoric. So I think if he's been practicing all week, no hang-ups, I expect him to be our starting left tackle out there in this game. So, and I expect him to play really well.
The only reason why Josh Simmons shouldn't start this game is if he is not physically and or mentally prepared. If he's not in a place where he can take on that responsibility, then he should not start. But the issue with that is, and why I don't believe that's the case in any shape or form, is the fact he's at practice. He's out there with the first team. He's taking all the reps. He's doing everything he normally would do. So there is no reason to think or even suggest that he's not ready or shouldn't be ready to play this game against the Broncos. Is my stance more on the side of, obviously they need him, of course.
Yeah.
But we're big boys here. We're adults here. We can have adult conversations and say, hey, as much as the Chiefs need him, he's not ready. Give him another week. That would have to be something we'd have to discuss. That would have to be something we address. And it's like, that's just the reality of the situation. That's not the reality of the situation. The reality of the situation is he is back. He has been practicing. He is healthy. He's good to go. So, man, put him in the lineup. I know Andy was playing coy, as he always does. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how he's doing. Guys, that is just the Chiefs downplaying the situation. That is what they do. That is so on brand. But we here at The Spoken are going to talk about things in a very real sense, because we don't have to worry about the backlash of what we say on a mic when it comes to what this team's doing personnel wise. We know what we stand on. We know what we believe, and I believe that by far the best scenario for the Chiefs moving forward, especially this Sunday, is having number 71 in the lineup. So that's where I leave it, and that's where I want to just kind of like I said, just get your thoughts on it, Trevor, because I know the people are going to have thoughts on it as well. So go ahead.
Our guy over at Clay over at Red Tribe Cinema chimes in and says Mahomes is 19-1 in AFC West road games played in North America. So, yeah, I mean, and like back to the situation here we were talking about. I mean, I want our best players on the field at all times. You know what I mean? That's the goal. That's the obvious. I mean, I'm saying the obvious right now. But back to the conversation too with about this matchup, about the struggles of the offensive execution as of late. I think a lot of it is, like, I think to Brad's point when he was talking about, Patrick Mahomes, as soon as we won that second championship in a row, he's like, I want a third. I think this team is kind of addicted to dopamine.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? Like, I think the success, like I said, like my point before we had Brad on, like, I think this team is kind of like addicted to that. This is kind of who Pat's always been. You live and you die by it. Not that it's a negative thing, but I think it can be to a degree sometimes, even with, Pat's cadence and Pat's ticks when he wants that next play. What is he doing?
Yep.
What's the typical Pat? He's flicking his fingers and give me that next play. I think sometimes you got to reel Pat in a little bit and like, listen, bro, slow the game down a little bit. We don't need to keep going to the next thing and keep trying to get that next hit. I think we're punch drunk. I think we're punch drunk as far as not being punched, but like wanting to punch the other team and have that haymaker all the time. I think Pat's always kind of looking for that knockout punch all the time. I think we're kind of addicted to that mentality.
Yep.
Sometimes that could come back and be detrimental to you. And I think that's kind of where this team is, especially now that we got all of our dogs. Who's going to beat us? Who's going to stop us? Well,
GGE, yep.
Well, a team that was decimated by injuries in the Bills just did that. What are we going to do about that now? Are we going to start taking what these teams give us instead of just being the outright, just out here just dick measuring everything? No, man, we know we were better than that Bills team, and we let them beat us. That's frustrating. They took our aggressive mentality and used it against us.
Yep.
So we need to start kind of like, listen, this team, it's hard to really have an identity of what this team is because we are so much, we roll with whatever Pat kind of does, and it's hard to have a true identity. And that can be used to our advantage because that makes it harder for defenses typically to have to prepare for us. Like, what is Pat going to do?
Right.
That also can be very hard for defenses to prepare for. But if they know Pat's just going to go out there and just try to dice you up all day long and throw 50 times, that's a little easier to defend, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Unless, we're running the ball 15, 25 times, and now they got to worry about Kareem Hunt gashing you up, or Pacheco gashing up, or Brashard Smith catching a catch in the flat and getting 25-yard chunk play on you. Let them think about that too.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to kind of reemphasize that point. I think that is the truth right now. I think we are kind of like trying to be too much of a haymaker kind of knockout punch kind of mentality. Sometimes we can just beat teams straight up just by playing vanilla football. And I think we need to kind of do a little bit of that this weekend. I think I'll be okay if we go win a game by 7-10 points against the Broncos, and have a lot of runs, or have Pat run opportunistically if need be, or just taking whatever they give us underneath and let the guys, just getting the ball in the playmaker's hands, like you said, getting Xavier Worthy more touches, utilizing his speed. If he's not beating guys downfield, let's beat him laterally.
Yeah,
absolutely. I'm on board with that. We've seen that with guys like McCole Hardman, who's not the athlete that Xavier Worthy is. You know what I mean? So I'm right there with you, bro. I think that's a massive point. I think that's an emphasis. I think if I am putting my mind in Andy Reid's skull, I think that's something he's probably seeing too. I think coming out of the bye, I think a lot of things. I expect Andy Reid to switch some things up, whether it's getting Brashard Smith some more touches, especially with Pacheco being out, getting the ball and the guys that have juice. Getting the guys the ball in the guys' hands, the playmakers' hands a little bit more quicker. Instead of having waiting for plays to develop downfield, especially against this defensive line, we can't do that. Regardless of how healthy our offensive line, this is a defensive line that's been wreaking havoc on a lot of quarterbacks, and I think we need to be smart and play some just straight up football and bring the fight to this team instead of, banking on Pat to figure it out every play. So I'm right there with you.
Shout out to our guy, D-Mac Wakefield, for being in the chat. That's one of the best, most respected content creators in the Chiefs community. I said, good show so far, fellas. Enjoyed Brad. Josh Simmons will start. Chiefs offense will give the Broncos defense their worst game of the season. Just got to avoid making mistakes, and Chiefs win 30+ to 24-ish.
I love it, dude.
So first of all, D-Mac, thank you so much for being in the chat, bro.
If we put up 30 points in these Broncos,
that'd be a lot of fun. That'd be a lot of fun.
Before that Bills game, who was the Super Bowl favorites? The Chiefs.
Yeah.
No matter what our record was at the moment, but that
still are, by the way. Or I think second.
I think we're second right now.
Kay Adams just said, I think yesterday, that according to DFS or whatever it was.
That should go to show you. So we go up there, I'm right there with D-Mac, dude. I will freaking go nuts.
D-Mac, we'd like to get
I'm not
you back on the
expecting
show,
that many
bro,
points,
by the way.
but yeah, hell yeah, bro.
D-Mac, I'm gonna hit you up after the show, man. We're gonna figure something out. I know you got a busy schedule, but yeah, you're one of the best, bro. I gave you that shout out for a reason this week, dude. I got nothing but respect for you, dude. You guys at Kingdom Cast do good work, dude. So shout out to you guys, D-Mac, and we appreciate. Please chime in as much as you can, bro, because like I said, I love reading your stuff, bro. Keep that going. And obviously, we agree with you. The chat's going live. I will say this, Trevor, to your point, because I thought you made some really valid ones right there.
Hold on. Before you dive into that, I just want our guy John Harrison chimes in and said, in reference to Trev's dick comment, don't piss for distance, piss for accuracy. LOL. Bro, my guy John, bro. Shout out to John.
You're the coach, John. I love you, dude. But to the points you were making, I was thinking about this as you were saying this, and it is interesting because Brad said it too, and I was thinking about it again. What's so funny is if you look at most offenses across the league and throughout time, what is even good offenses, fans will complain about what, Trevor? We got this stuff down, like the basics and things, but I wish this offense had a little more explosiveness. I wish they could make more plays downfield and make, those crazy plays that just kind of, can elevate a team's confidence and get you that victory that we just can't. Because you mentioned Alex Smith, about how like Andy Reid had to like bore the offense down for him because he was so limited in what he could do in the air. And we would complain about that. You remember me, man. I was like the leading me and Clay were like the leading. That's actually how Clay and I became friends. It's through our Alex Smith hate. I'm not even kidding, by the way.
That freaking the meme where you guys hand in hand. Yeah.
You son of a bitch. Yeah. Like that was
running on the beach.
That's together. How it like started. And it was because this offense was so damn limited in explosive plays because Alex Smith couldn't make those plays. What I find so funny about us now is that we're sitting here talking about, we have the explosive shit down now.
Listen,
but can they get back to the basics?
Can
we get a little more Alex Smith in this offense?
It is a complaint from privilege.
It's crazy though.
It is a privilege.
But it's not wrong.
No, it is a privilege grievance though, for sure. Because Pat, stop trying to be so great all the time, okay, man? You know what I mean? It's like it's true. It is true though.
Right.
It is. Sometimes you got to reel Pat in from kind of trying to be freaking Mike Tyson all the time.
Right.
Dude, trying to knock everybody out. Like, bro. Pick them apart. Give me a little Muhammad Ali. Razzle dazzle.
Float around
every once in a while, but like,
throw that
jab
dude,
them. You know what I mean? Like, dude. So like, I do think we're gonna see some of that coming out of the bye, and specifically this matchup ties in perfectly. That's why I don't think we'll score 30 to D-Mac's point. But dude, D-Mac, if you feel like we're gonna go put 30 on them boys, like I'm with it.
Yeah,
I love it. I think there could be a defensive score, but the way that the Broncos offense have been playing, they've been very turnover prone. They've been making a lot of mistakes. So I think this is a great spot for our defense, even just as much as I think even more so, honestly, the Broncos defense. So I think this is an interesting matchup coming out of the bye for us, bro. See how we're going to attack this. This is a tough matchup on paper, right? So I think that's why the spread is as close as it is. And this is another team that knows us well. But yeah, I feel confident in this one, bro.
Well, let's get into it real quick, Trevor. We had a lot of people in the chat, but I want to get to this preview because I want the people to hear what we have to say. And by the way, our guy D-Mac said he's down to get on the show. So we're gonna definitely figure that out. And if anybody doesn't already follow D-Mac, you need to change that today. He's, like I said, he's one of the best. What I love about him is he gives you a very articulate thought, and he also breaks down film really well to the point where idiots like me can really process it. Because there's a lot of people out there that just talk the big language. You're like, I don't know what the hell you're saying.
Here comes the airplane.
but D-Mac does a great job. Drop my damn pen. D-Mac does a great job, and I respect the hell out of it, man. So like, yeah, so we're gonna talk after the show, but let's get to this preview real quick, Trev.
Yeah.
Let's look at the injury report for both teams. And you will notice a massive discrepancy on this. Is it on the screen, by the way? I don't know if it is or not. But yeah, the injury report is out there. It's official. This is from the Chiefs.com. Matt McMullen tweeted it yesterday. You could see a massive discrepancy. So if you look at the Chiefs, they have one player out. The Broncos are going to have 4 players out. And it's not just the number of players, it's who is out. So J.K. Dobbins, the fifth in rushing yards this season, is out with a foot injury. Pat Surtain, which is a massive loss because he's maybe the best defensive player in the league, at least the best corner in the league, is out with a pectoral injury. Alex Singleton is going to, I think he's going to be out. He has an illness. I don't know what the illness is. They didn't really specify. Hope he's okay because that can always be kind of scary. And Jonah Ellis, their guard, is going to be out with a hamstring injury. That's a massive loss as well. Whereas the Chiefs are just going to be out Isaiah Pacheco. And that's kind of where I want to start this conversation, real quick. We have an honest conversation about Isaiah Pacheco.
Yeah.
I have been telling you guys for years now that this is going to be an issue with Isaiah Pacheco because he is a guy who gets hurt. This is going to be the 12th game now that Pacheco has missed since week 2 of last season. Now, obviously the Chiefs are 8-2 in that span and are 10-3 without Pacheco since 2023. So they can win games without Pacheco. That's not the concern. My concern is him in particular playing such an important role for the team moving forward this season. But the Chiefs needed to take the running back position more seriously this offseason. That's the point I was trying to make. Trevor, you and I talked about this when we put up our mock drafts. We had several guests throughout the offseason. We had our Mike Williams from All Chiefed Up. We had our Marcus Dashes from Chief Concerns, 𝚂𝙿𝙸👂𝙀, Dash. We had In Harm's Way, Daniel Harms on the show. We're talking about these things time and time again, and they just didn't do it. And look, I give Pacheco nothing but credit for being the contributor he's been for the Chiefs. He's been nothing short of a solid contributor. He was a starting running back for a back-to-back Super Bowl winning team. That's prestigious at worst, especially when you consider the fact that he was a 7th-round pick, and getting anything out of a 7th-round pick is a plus, let alone what he's been. But he's also been injury-prone, and this was evident a year ago, and the Chiefs still did nothing to upgrade and improve that position. They came right into 2025 with Pacheco as their starting running back, and that, to me, was them falling short of making their offense better by adding a more reliable, durable, and more skilled player in the backfield. And I get that we all enjoy Brashard Smith, as we talked about. The Chiefs are probably going to have to lean into him a little bit. And we might even have high hopes for him. I know, Trevor, you definitely do. I'm growing into that as well. But just like Pacheco, he's a 7th-round pick, and even if the Chiefs were to stick the landing with another running back in the final round of the draft, how much can we realistically expect from him week in and week out? Because he's paired with a 30-year-old Kareem Hunt who's still awesome in his own respect, but we all know that he's awesome in spurts. So the question has to come full circle again. When the Chiefs are without Isaiah Pacheco, how do they execute? Is it going to be any different, or is it going to be the same? And when Isaiah Pacheco is back, what impact does he actually bring to the offense? Because if he comes back and he doesn't bring real impact to the offense, the question then is asked, why is he the starter for this team? I have been hammering it home all offseason and all season long. Kareem Hunt should be the starter of this team.
Kareem is better.
Not just because of what we all love about Kareem. It's the fact that it's almost like a by default. Because we know that Pacheco will not stay healthy.
He's just a better vision runner. He's a better guy. He's better hitting the gaps. He's better always gaining yards, always moving forward. Pacheco just... I've never been a big Pacheco guy. I like him, the person. I like what he's contributed. He's had one really good year with us. But yeah, I mean, I agree. I think we've always agreed. I think Pacheco or Kareem's always been the better back.
Right.
He's obviously clearly the guy that we need to when we need a yard or we need a 3rd and 2, 3rd and short, or goal line run. He's automatic.
Right.
That's a very reliable thing. That's a very important thing to have in your team. Not every team has that.
Yeah.
We've seen the stats. He's been more reliable than the tush push.
Yeah.
That's outrageous. That's a play that people are wanting to get banned.
That's an illegal play.
Do they need to ban Kareem Hunt at this point? Shit. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's a guy who's valuable. And I think when given the ball, even on regular, 1st and 10 runs, he's looked better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people want to act like this guy's dust. Like, he's not great, but he's better than Pacheco, bro.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. And there's somebody else in this running back room I think is better than Pacheco also. So, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the debate I think is going to rage on throughout this season, and there's no question about it. This next offseason, the Chiefs have got to take the running back position more seriously. I think they're going to, just because they're going to have to. It's no longer let's just run it back and see how it goes. No, there's no more running back the running back. It is time to take it seriously. When it comes to this particular matchup, losing Pacheco in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it's going to really affect things for the Chiefs. I think they're going to be able to move the ball or do what they need to do with or without him in the lineup. The biggest reason why is because I think the Chiefs know without question they're going to have to throw the ball in this game, but in a different way than what we've been seeing from them over the last couple of weeks, like we've been alluding to all day long. The Chiefs are going to have to run the ball through the air in this game. I'm not saying that Kareem Hunt's not going to get touches. I'm not going to say Brashard Smith's not getting touches. What I'm saying is I think that Patrick Mahomes is going to have over 40 pass attempts in this game, because they also know that Pat Surtain's absence is massive. And knowing that you have Rashee Rice back, because here's what we've been talking about all season long, Trevor, about how this game, to me, is the no excuse game for the Chiefs. We saw at the beginning of the year, 3 plays in, within 3 offensive plays, the Chiefs were without Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy. And we're like, well, the Chiefs are going to not have as much of an explosive offense because your 2 best receivers are out. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
And then they get both those guys back, and almost simultaneously, their left tackle's gone. So then you're like, well, they're making up for not having Josh Simmons. So you know what? They have some explosiveness, but they're just not going to be as in rhythm because your left tackle's gone. So you're just going to have to make do. Those excuses are both gone. Rashee Rice is back. Xavier Worthy's back. Josh Simmons is back. And this is so coincidentally, maybe, and I don't even know if maybe's necessary in this, the biggest game of the season. So you have all your pieces back right in time for the biggest, most important game of your season. There are no excuses for the Chiefs in this game. There is a reason why this team is 3.5-point favorites. The biggest reason why, even with the Chiefs having issues offensively, is they have such a significant advantage in this game offensively. Significantly. This is shout out to our guys at Chief Concerns. They sent me this stat this week. This is a crazy stat, as they put. So more 3-and-outs. This is when it comes to the Broncos offense. They have more 3-and-outs than the Panthers, 1 touchdown in their last 17 possessions, one of 2 teams to trail in every game, 29th in yards per pass attempt at 6.1, and Nick's is 28 in completion percentage at 61%.
That's why I say this is if anything, this is a great spot for our defense more than anything in this game.
Jesse Newell, if we can put that one up there real quick, Trevor. Jesse Newell. The Broncos have had 53 punts this year. The Chiefs are at 22. The Chiefs have less or under half. Like they don't even have a half of their punts.
That's crazy.
And we see the injuries the Broncos are taking on. We've seen how incompetent their quarterback has been. The Chiefs went through their early chunk of the season, like I said, without their skill players. Then they lost their left tackle. Now they have all 3 back. No excuses, guys. The Chiefs' backs are completely up against. I cannot emphasize that enough. I know there have been hyperbolic conversations in the past of, hey man, look, the Chiefs need this victory. Their backs are kind of up against the wall, but they're 8-2, leading the division by 3 games. So worst case scenario, they lose this game, and the pack gets a little bit closer. But we know the Chiefs are going to wrap this division up. That is in no way, shape, or form the conversation right now. Yeah. We have not had that conversation all season because the Chiefs literally started the year 0-2. At no point this season have the Chiefs been in the driver's seat. They literally started the season off 0-2 and 0-1 in their own division. There is no room for error now. Think about what we're asking here. We're asking for the team that has been to 5 of the last 6 Super Bowls to play like a champion. Is that too much to ask? I don't think so. I don't think it's too much to ask for the Chiefs to go out there and play a game against an offense that literally can't move the ball against the fucking Raiders to go out there and beat them. I'm not asking the Chiefs to go out there and win 35-7. It'd be fun as fuck. I would love it very much. It'd make one hell of a Sunday for me, Trev. You and I would be having multiple stogies that day. And maybe that does happen. But all I'm asking from the Chiefs in this game, Trevor, is to fucking win. Play situational football. Be aware of what is going on. When you see what the other team is doing to you, and you're seeing how they're playing you defensively, adjust if it isn't working. If they, by some measure, say, you know what? We're going to play single high safety and we're going to blitz Patrick Mahomes. That'd be awesome. I don't expect it, though. I think what the Broncos are going to do is see what the Bills did, and they're going to say, we're going to do exactly that, and we're going to see what the Chiefs can do against it in a hostile environment, back-to-back weeks. Let's see if they can beat us. But here's the thing, Trevor. This is the way I think this game needs to go, because I'm going to say this right now. I don't see any real scenario. If Spagnuolo, who now is all of a sudden up for coaching conversations again, which I don't expect to happen, just to narrow that down, guys. I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he would retire before he'd take a head coaching job again. He's 66 years old. If Spagnuolo is that DC that we know him to be, if we think this defense is a top 10 defense, there is no reason in the world the Broncos score 14 or more points in this game.
Yeah.
There is no reason. Because this Broncos offense is not good. Flat out.
It is inept. Yeah.
Everybody, have you heard, I don't know if you, because like you said, you're not on social media like I am. I'm an obsessed motherfucker. There's been these weird conversations I keep hearing people say, man, this Broncos team, dude, they're a lot like the 2024 Chiefs. Like they squeak out these victories. They keep winning all these one-score games in wild fashion. No. God, no. It is not the same thing because, first of all, the Chiefs started off 9-0 last season. The Broncos are 8-2, so it's already invalid, first of all, just from record point of view. The reason the Chiefs had to win games like that last season was because they had a myriad of injuries to skill position players who didn't have a true left tackle. The Broncos are winning games like they have because their quarterback sucks. There's a massive difference, guys. So these are not the same two. I just wanted to throw that out there real quick. But this offense is terrible because Blow Nix is their quarterback. And he has been bad all season long. And I've been hammering this point time and time again. That is why you're seeing the Broncos be known for what, Trevor? When you think of the Broncos, what do you think about? Like what are they good at?
Their defense.
Exactly. Sean Payton is an offensive coordinator as a head coach. So that pisses him off. And I don't know if you've been hearing reports, but players in their offense are confused because he's running all these different packages with constant rotations. It's confusing their players. I don't think it's helping Bo Nix. I don't think Bo Nix is good, but I don't think that Sean Payton's doing him any favors with all this overly overlapped bullshit that he puts into his offense.
Well, now they're down their best offensive player in J.K. Dobbins.
Right.
I mean, I know Cortland Sutton's been a pretty good player for them this year. It's been decent, but You lose that reliable running back, that veteran running back who's been the workhorse for that team this year. Now you're dependent on Bo Nix and an R.J. Harvey rookie running back and Cortland Sutton who's been hit and miss. And it, yeah, man. I mean, it's their offense has been pretty much cheeks all year, bro. Outside of a couple really big blow up fourth quarters that have been very opportunistic. Granted, their defense has forced some turnovers and put them in good scoring position to do so.
Yeah,
and some tip touchdown passes that have happened, and things like that. Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, I respect the Broncos defense, and I think they're going to bring it. And I think seeing what we just did against the depleted defense of the Buffalo Bills, the Chiefs have to go prove that they can go put up points against really good defense. Because we put up good points against some defenses that were so-so. Washington, don't care. It's a terrible defense right now. Detroit, when we face them, depleted and bad defense. They give a lot of points even when healthy. So we got to go prove that we can take care of this defense, man, and this the divisional team that knows us well. Say what you want about Sean Payton. He's made games tight in the past couple seasons with us, but I have nothing but blind faith in this Chiefs team to go. Like you said, just win. I don't care if you have to adjust. If that defense comes out and gives us something, a look, and we need to run the ball, run the ball. If that defense is giving us a look and they're pressing and they're getting up on us, beat them over the top. If they're playing a soft shell defense, utilize the speed of Xavier Worthy, get quick touches, jet sweeps, and things like that to beat those guys. Get the ball out quick so we can get good chunk plays. Get the ball to Rasheed quickly. Get the ball to Kelsey quickly. Things like that, man.
Yeah.
Like, take what they give you, bro. We don't have to try to depend on the heroics of Patrick Mahomes. If need be, yes. We know that can happen, but just go beat this team. We know we're better than them. We had a rude awakening last game against the Buffalo Bills, a team we should have beat. It's frustrating.
What you're saying is 100% correct, because look, Vegas doesn't lie. It's a money-making business. The Chiefs are still the clear favorites to win the Super Bowl. They are the favorites still to win the AFC, or they're second in the AFC West voting right now, which is wild. But they're second. They win this game, they go up to 51%. When the Broncos dropped, I think, to 32%.
Vegas knows we don't need to win our division to go to the Super Bowl again.
The Broncos are 8-2, and the Chiefs are 5-4, and the Chiefs are 3.5-point favorites on the road. Mm-hmm. Vegas knows what we know, Trevor. We all know. Like, there's no mystery to this. It's not like we said, we're not sitting here trying to figure out the Chiefs. We're just trying to figure out why they don't execute when we know they can. Like remember I made that comparison a few weeks ago about it's like that person that's just got all this potential. Like, dude, just if you just got it, if you just woke up, like,
so money you don't even know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Swingers, like, you're so money, bro. You don't even know it. That's like what I feel like with the Chiefs. I'm like, you just want to shake him, like, bruh, you're so damn good. You guys, look what you guys have done over these last 7 years. Just wake the hell up and play your game. Like, I know that sounds so simplified, but sometimes the most complicated things are the things that we just don't simplify. And that's what I think the Chiefs need to do is simplify this shit. So when it comes to this matchup, Trevor, this is how the Chiefs have to do it. And I know this sounds weird, but I'm going to break it down as to why it makes sense. At least I think it does. The Chiefs have to utilize the Broncos game plan against themselves. What do I mean by that? Because, usually it's like, everybody's going to try to, play at the Chiefs. It's their A-game effort coming at the Chiefs.
Yeah.
No, the Chiefs need to do that to them. They need to go after them in their own way. What do I mean by that? The Chiefs need to play offense as if it was 2023 again. You need to play a more boring style of offense in this game. Biggest reason why.
Yeah.
Because the clear strong point of this Broncos team is their defense. They're without their captain, their best defensive player, and they're going to get tired. That's why you need to play that style. You need to play a very short game. Make this a 2.5-hour game where the Chiefs are playing methodical football, keeping the Broncos defense on the field in thin air, making them worn out early in the game. Biggest other reason of that is because that crowd is going to be hostile as fuck. That Broncos crowd, to their credit, can get loud and rowdy.
Oh, yeah, that's a tough place to play.
They know what this game means. The Broncos fans know, dude, if they win this game, they pretty much wrap up the AFC West. Yeah. So this is going to be an insanely hostile environment. Keep your offense. Let Patrick Mahomes, who's a freaking psycho and loves these environments. Remember when, like I was talking about Rob Collins, the Buffalo Bills fans are throwing snowballs at him. He's laughing. Yeah. He's loving it.
That theory fell flat last game, though.
Right. I know, but I'm saying relish in what you know you can be on the road. Be that villain that we all know Patrick loves being. Like we were talking about earlier about, when you're on the road against the Baltimore Ravens and the Bills, and there was that juice.
Yeah.
That FU mentality the Chiefs have.
Of course.
Get back to that. Get this crowd out of it. Keep the defense on the field and wear them out. Make them have to earn every single stop, because they'll get them because they're a good defense. They'll get a stop here and there. Make them earn every single one of them. Make sure every single one of them's on 3rd or 4th down. Make sure every single time. Do not get ahead of yourself. Don't try to make the go for broke plays unless there's somebody just streaming down the field wide open. And on the flip side, the Chiefs defense has to make sure that Bo Nix is only getting to what he knows he can do, and that is the dump off screen stuff. We've seen this time and time again where Bo Nix cannot make plays when it's 5 or when it's 15, 20 yards down the field. That's not his strength. Do not allow a single thing down the field, because on the flip side, with the defense being on the field and the crowd's going to be riling as hell, they're waiting for that big play from Bo Nix to go nuts, to go ape shit, and that's going to swing everything in the favor of the Broncos. Because what you don't want to do is allow Bo Nix to get into any type of rhythm. You don't want him to feel good about himself, because right now, the last game he just played, he experienced a series of boos multiple times in a home game against the Raiders where he put up 10 points. The pressure has never been bigger on Bo Nix. If he comes into this game and you 3-and-out him multiple times to start this game, his confidence is going to drop even further, and that crowd's going to get unbelievably insufferable. They're going to be so pissed off because they know how much this game matters to their seedings, to their season as a whole. They know this is the opportunity to kill the Giants. They know this is their opportunity for their team to put themselves back into prominence. They haven't been in over a decade. It is time for the Broncos to, in their mind, it's time for them to do that. That is why the Chiefs have to utilize their game plan against them. Play a slow, methodical game. Don't worry about the sexy shit. Don't worry about chucking the ball down 55 yards. We love it. It's fun. But you need to keep your offense on the field, and you need to make Bo Nix feel even worse about himself.
Yeah, I do not think this is a game where we need to figure something out offensively. I think our offense is going to be fine moving forward for the rest of the season. This isn't a game where we need to go score 35 points. This isn't. I don't need that.
Right.
I need a good bounce. I need proof that we're paying attention. I need proof that this leadership, this coaching staff is paying, that Patrick Mahomes is paying attention and is understanding, listen, like you said, just win this game at all costs. Take what they're giving us. Audible the hell out of these plays. If you're seeing something you don't like and you want to adjust and you think you can get an edge on somebody and you need to just audible to a run. If you're playing, in shotgun, you need to audible and get under center and just run the ball, cream hunt. Do that.
Yeah.
I want to see you adjust and commit to just winning a game instead of just beating teams your way, no matter what.
Right.
We don't have to die by the sword, right? We don't have to live and die by the sword in this game. Just straight up out-duel these guys and just do what we do. You know what I mean? We don't need it. Like you said, you think Patrick Mahomes is going to go out there and throw the ball 50 times. I don't think we need to do that.
I think 40.
I don't think we need to do that, though. I think we can go out there and have a good 60-40 split between running and passing, which is probably not going to happen because we don't do it. But I would be happy if this game was boring as shit.
Can I just say,
we go win by 7.
I don't mean to interrupt. I don't. I want you to continue. Let me contextualize real quick what I mean by that. So you notice what I was saying about keeping the offense on the field, making their defense at the play.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about is get like 10 to 12 play drives. So if Patrick Mahomes throws the ball 40 times, I'm not saying that it's going to be like those where he's got 8.5 yards an attempt.
Play patient football.
Yes. I'm talking about like dump off screens. Slant patterns, screens, stuff like that, where he's throwing the ball a lot, but it's not like 8 yards an attempt. Like I said, where he's chucking it down the field 40 times. I'm saying keeping them on the field, run the ball 15 to 25 times, throw the ball 35 to 40 times, and you have 65, 70 plays of offense. If the Chiefs get to 65, 70 plays of offense, that means they control time of possession, and that Broncos defense got wore the hell out. So I don't expect, I'm with you, Char. I don't think it's going to be this blow-up spot where the Chiefs score 34 to 38 points, but I think they need to control the game offensively. They need to keep the Broncos limit Bo Nix's possession, so that way he starts getting desperate and makes some really costly errors, because we know he does that as well. We know he likes to try to ace the ball and try to make those crazy ass maverick plays. What happens? Throws a pick. That's what the Chiefs need to do, is set them up. So limit his possessions, limit his opportunities, and make sure that Patrick Mahomes dictates the pace of this game. That's what I want to see from this Chiefs offense. That's all I'm asking.
If there's one thing you're confident in this game more than any other thing, offensively, defensively, whatever it is, what is it?
I think it's going to be
if you could put a bet on something, not necessarily like a straight bet or something like that, but just like, I'm so confident that this coach is going to have his guys. For me, I'll just say this is going to be a dominant game from our Chiefs defense.
Okay.
I think the Chiefs defense is going to come out here and just absolutely just wreak havoc. And I know that, and it's funny because the talking point all week has been the Broncos defense and how dominant they've been. But we've seen Jackson Dart and quarterbacks alike go out there and just dot them up. So I mean, I don't need Pat to go be incredible. I don't need that. I I think this defense is going to be insane. I think our defense is going to, I think Spags is going to be in his bag. I think we're going to call him Bagnolo again this week because I think we're going to see a lot of sneaky blitzes and some weird stunts and twists and things. I think this is a get right game for our defense in so many ways. And I think it's going to be a really, really long game for Bo Nix. And that, if anything, I'm confident, and I'm confident that this is going to be an absolute blow-up spot for our defense. I think it's going to be an absolute dominant performance.
And this might sound backwards. I will say that I think if we're looking at the defensive side, I'll be more like I'll give you more of a like microscopic take. I think if there was a part of the defense that I'm so certain on this week to do their job, it's gonna be the secondary. Yeah. I think they're gonna lock down Cortland Sutton and Franklin and those guys. I think the only guy offensively that's gonna probably do anything that, as far as receivers wise, Evan Ingram, because we know the Chiefs do struggle with tight ends.
Well, I do think this is a great spot for Leo Chenal too. Sure. Guys like Leo Chenal and guys like that. I think he could play a lot of spy because we know Bo Nix will take off and run with. He's an opportunistic runner and he's very good at it. He's a very good athlete with his legs. But I think guys like Leo Chenal could really be a problem.
I will give you the one part, though, that I am the most confident in. Like, if I'm going to lock something in, it's going to be Patrick Mahomes making situational plays. I know he didn't do that this last week against the Bills, but I know what this game means, and I know it means that much to Patrick Mahomes. I'm telling you right now, there's going to be like 3 or 4 plays in this game. You're like, okay, there was the breaking glass in case of emergency. Like, you needed Patrick Mahomes on a 3rd and 6 to roll out and get 14 yards with his feet. You needed Patrick Mahomes to get a 3rd and 9. He hits Travis Kelce for 15 yards. Like, you're going to see those moments, and I am so confident he's going to do that. But again, to reemphasize my whole entire take from earlier in the show, I don't want to see those plays attempted 14 to 20 times. I want to see a methodical, schematic offense, and then Patrick's, hey, I'm about to go do some magical shit, Andy. Watch this. And then he goes and does it 2 to 3 times. That's what you want to see. Because we know, we've always heard, like, Jason Dunn and other players always talk about, like, football games are always decided by a couple of plays. That's what makes Patrick so damn great, is he can do the things that Tom Brady can never do. That's why, if you notice, all of Tom Brady's like biggest wins of his career weren't because of some great play he made. It was because the team made a big play. They made a big stop on defense, or Vinatieri made a big field goal. Like, it wasn't ever that Tom made this great throw, or he went out and shook a dude and got a first down. That was never Tom's game. Yeah. Patrick is that guy. He always makes the play. So that's what I think is going to happen this week, is that he's going to run a very balanced offense. At least I hope so. And then you're going to see Patrick make those magical plays that we know he can and will do to seal up a victory. So I say all that to say, Trevor, I want to get your key factor, key players of this game. It can be, like I said, we know the rules here. You can be offensive, defensive, or one of the other, or a random wild card. Who do you got?
Yeah, so defensively, I'm going Brian Cook in this game. This feels like, I agree with you with the secondary. I think we're going to have Bo Nix under pressure a lot in this game. I think this is a really, coming off the bye week, I think Spags is going to have some pressures drawn up. I think Bo Nix is going to be very uncomfortable the entirety of this game. Okay. And I think he's going to make some mistakes, and I think there's a really good chance that he can float one up. And we know a guy who's a good ball hawk out there, and has gotten interceptions in the past when balls are kind of floated up there, and a guy that has speed and covers a lot of ground quickly. And Brian Cook is one of those guys. He's also a guy that can force fumbles. He's just a good playmaker, and he's been playing very good this year. And this feels like another good spot for him in this matchup to make a play, whether it's force a fumble, whether it's get a pick, something. I think he's going to make a play here, or just be awesome, or just come off the edge, just come out, has maybe Spags draws up a blitz for him. We've seen Spags do that with guys like him and Trent McDuffie, L'Jarius Sneed in the past. Those are very effective plays, and Bo Nix is not good at seeing those coming. He's not. So I think some disguised blitzes, maybe with Brian Cook blitz, maybe a forced fumble, big sack, something like that, or an interception. He's going to make a play. I love our secondary and our defense in general in this game, for sure. Offensively, man, listen, that was my call as well. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to run a lot in this game. I think this is just, we've seen it, the over my dead body kind of plays. Yeah. Pat, if I'll give credit to that Broncos defensive line. They get pressure. And I think no matter how good our offensive line is playing, there's going to be some snaps where Pat's going to be running for his life. That's just going to happen. They have dogs on that team. So I think Pat's going to have to make some plays, extend some plays, maybe make some throws downfield, like you said, roll out, run to the sideline, make a throw before he's out of bounds. We see him do all that stuff all the time. So whether it's running for 25 yards on a broken play and no one's open downfield and everyone's downfield and he just takes off, I think we're going to see plenty of that. But bonus, though, I do think coming out of the bye, I think Andy Reid really starts to dial in and draw some things up for Brashard Smith. I really do think that happens this week. I don't think he needs to be great because this isn't the best matchup. They're pretty good at defending the flat. But speed is speed. And you get the ball in these guys' hands, like you said, the jet sweeps to Xavier Worthy, guys like that. I think you utilizing this speed. They're down some guys on the defensive side of things, too. Their linebackers aren't the fastest.
Nope.
I think if you get one-on-one with the linebacker and 𝚂𝙿 Smith in the flat and a little underneath, dump off to him, I think that dude can make some things happen. I think we haven't really given him enough opportunities, in my opinion. The kid's got juice. Even as a runner, I think he has more juice than people give him credit for. Not saying he's some world beater, but I think this is a guy that can give us an edge. We've missed that McKinnon role. He's never probably going to be Jet McKinnon because he was a freak athlete too, and he was a seamless fit. But that role can be so effective in this offense, and I want to see this week be that. I think this is a great opportunity too because we need to get the ball out quick in this game. I think getting the ball in the hands of guys like him, Rasheed, Xavier Worthy, guys that have that after the catch ability, we really got to utilize that this week. Like you said, run through the air. If we're going to run through the air, get the ball in his hands. I want to see what the kid can do. I have faith that this kid's got juice and he can make some plays. So between Pat's legs and 𝚂𝙁 Smith in the passing game, that's what I want to see, and I'm expecting to see more of that coming out of the bye.
I want to agree with you when it comes to the 𝚂𝙁 Smith take because I know we've all been waiting for that breakout game for him, and I do think that game's coming. But I think in games like this, Andy always goes with the classics. He always goes with the guys that he has, rapport with. And as crazy as it sounds, I feel like, and this isn't one of my key players, but I'm just saying, watch for this guy. I have a feeling Juju's going to make some plays in this game. I feel like there's going to be an opportunity, because, since Rasheed's been back, naturally Tyquan Thornton and Juju have taken a step back. And that might continue. I think Rasheed's actually going to have a really big game. That shouldn't shock anybody. I think Travis Kelce's going to get some opportunities, Xavier Worthy, all the normies. But I think there's going to be instances where Juju gets an opportunity to kind of because they know that this game means so much to the Broncos, so they're going to be overly studying. They've had extended time because they played Thursday night last week. They're going to be gauging so much on the normies. They're going to be so gauged in on shutting down Travis Kelce and making sure Rasheed doesn't get off. I think Juju's going to have some opportunities on some one-on-ones against the week because we know Riley Moss is being picked on this year at the cornerback for the Broncos.
Yeah.
There's probably going to be multiple opportunities when Juju's going to be lined up against him, and he's probably going to be barbecue chicken. I think that just watch Juju. That's all I'm going to say. I think there's going to be like three catches where he makes some big first down conversions on third down. Watch for Juju to be that guy. But ironically, on the defensive side, we know that Spags oftentimes leans into young dudes. Because he has to, because the Chiefs usually stay cheaper on the defensive side. Noah Williams has only been playing 16 snaps per game this season. But I think Noah Williams, even in a limited role at this time, is going to make the play of the game. I think that Noah Williams is going to pick off Bo Nix in this one. He's the ball hawk we've all been waiting for.
Sure.
We know that that's the guy that, you read his profile on NFL.com as far as his draft profile, it's always been this dude makes plays.
Yeah.
This is a game he makes the play. This is the game where he goes out there and on a big pressure situation, Bo Nix inexplicably throws a ball up and Noah Williams goes up and get that bitch. This is a game that Noah Williams gets his first career interception. I'm predicting that now. Noah Williams gets his first interception of his career. My other wild card, or my other key factor of this game, or X factor of this game, is Harrison Butker. So we've not heard anything from Butker because he's been solid, but also the Chiefs have kind of taken away unofficially his responsibilities on fourth downs.
We've been a little more aggressive. We've gone for it on fourth down a lot.
Which I'm totally good with, by the way.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's going to be the case this week. I think the Chiefs, like I said, take
our points.
Yes.
Take your points. Yeah.
Take your points in a game when you know the other offense is not going to score a ton, or at least you're very confident they won't.
Your boy D-Max is in the chat. He says, I love the null interception prediction. Best ball skills in the DB room. Agreed. He needs more playing time, man.
Yes. Only 16 snaps per game, according to Pro Football Reference. I know other websites might have different numbers, but according to Pro Football Reference, it's 16 snaps per game. That clearly needs to go up, and my boy D-Mac is 100% correct.
Yeah.
He is that ball hawk.
I think there's an interception in this game one way or another. I really do.
And I like the Brian Cook, by the way. I think Brian Cook's been very, very good this year. Underrated.
He's had a couple drops, too, like where he's had a couple picks he should have had. Yeah.
Yeah, 6 should have got the pick 6, if you know what I mean. So, I like the Brian Cook one as well. I just feel like it's that brewing of Noah Williams, like the coming of age game. And what better way to do it in a game this big? Like, that's the game that puts him on the map against the Broncos in Denver in a big win game, like Noel Williams. He all of a sudden gets this national spotlight.
And it's merit to the take it that it's a call to action too for this defensive line to get some pressure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These guys need to get after the quarterback, and this is the best situation to do so. And a quarterback that crumbles in moments like where he's really under pressure. He doesn't deal with it very well. He's not very good against the blitz. So this is it all is in tandem, man.
Yeah, and that's why, like I said, Butker is now an X factor for me, because we do, to be real here, we've had some concerns about Butker this year. He's missed far more than he usually has. Late, but he's been really solid of late, because honestly, all he's been really asked to do is hit your damn PATs, bro.
Well, that's been the struggle.
Yeah, exactly.
He's been missing PATs. Yeah.
You're now in the thin air of Denver. We know that's where a lot of kickers like to kick, because that air is so thin. You can usually get 2 to 3 more yards on your kick than you normally would elsewhere.
Yeah.
This is a game where I think the Chiefs are going to call on Butker to be the guy. They're going to be like, look, dude, we're usually been ultra aggressive this season. We're going to need to take our points when we can get them. We're going to ask you to get 3 field goals tonight. Yeah. Can you get us 3 field goals?
I like 3.
And I think he's going to do it. And I actually think he's going to hit a one that's over 50 yards. He hasn't kicked. He hasn't hit a 50-yarder since week 2.
Yeah, this will be the time to do it.
Yeah, this is the time to do it. So I think this is the game. Butker's going to get himself some confidence back from both himself and the fan base, because we both know, man, that
rub that rosary, baby. Rub that rosary.
You always know, Trevor, too, like when the fan base gets a little pissed at a player, or they're losing confidence when they start talking about stuff off the field.
Yeah.
Because the Butker stuff off the field comes back into the conversation.
Like, you Catholic son of a bitch.
Right.
Like,
you're talking to women about getting back in the kitchen. How about you get in the kitchen and cook up some kicks? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's when you know, like, things are getting stupid.
Get back in the kitchen.
Yeah. Nice.
Son of a bitch.
Well done, dude. Well done. Yeah, like that's when you know things are getting kind of hostile with fans. Like when they start talking about the stuff that has nothing to do with the football.
I never liked him.
Right. Like he needs to get back in the good graces with fans. And I'm not even talking about opinions. You guys feel how you feel. I'm with some of you. My point is, I think Butker has been such a great kicker throughout his career that he needs to get back. He deserves to get back into those conversations.
He's the highest paid kicker in the league right now.
Right. That's the other part of it. There's an onus on him where, look, dude, you are paid special. Be special. Like, that's not asking a lot from you. Yeah. You've established yourself as an historically great kicker.
Yeah.
I think he's like 3rd all-time in kick and field goal percentage. He's made humongous kicks in the postseason throughout his career. Like, we know what this dude can be. So like the Chiefs, it's very on brand. We know what the Chiefs can be. Go be. Harrison, we know what you can be. Go be. Like that's what we're asking you to do, man. Go earn your check this week, brother. Like we appreciate the fact you've stayed out of the way for the last few weeks. Now you need to go out there and put yourself in straight center stage and be a catalyst to a victory. And I think he's going to be. So my guys are Noel Williams,
I would love a Harrison Butker game.
Yes.
I would love it.
And remember the days, dude, and it wasn't even that long ago.
Yeah.
When Butker was lined up for a field goal, like there'd be times I could go to the bathroom.
Yep.
I'm like, I know that's good. I know it's good.
Go tinkle.
It's like back when the manager for the Royals back in the day with George Brett. He'd line up. He'd be up there at bat for a game-winning hit, and he'd go. The dude walked down the step. He knew he was going to hit the hit. That's the kind of Butker we need. We need George Brett Butker back, dude. Yeah. We need him back. Go be George Brett Butker, dude. That's when we're asking for you. Noel Williams, Harrison Butker, Brian Cook, and
Rashard Smith. Rashard Smith, Patrick Mahomes' legs.
Got it.
Those 2 things I think are going to be vital for this offense this week.
These are our takes. These are our thoughts on this Chiefs Broncos preview. We want your guys' because it is now time to hand it over to you guys. Literally, it is time for Speak It. Trevor, what are the people asking, man?
All right, man. It's been a lively chat this week. I appreciate it and got
Hell
love
yeah.
for all you guys, man. Much love.
We got content creators, we got fans, we got everybody in this chat, man. It's all one big family over here, dude.
Yeah. So Clear the Air with E earlier in the show did ask this, and I just want to reiterate and give him his time because he did ask a question. Okay. Lance and Trevor, what's up? Can't wait for the show. Go Chiefs. Key players on offense and on defense. I just wanted to get them. We just obviously gave you ours.
We unofficially answered. Sorry.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so it is what it is. I just wanted to give the question its due. Cell 32 alt. Speak it. I saw that. Oh, here we go. I saw that Carrington Harrison episode where you were talking to him. He's a piece of shit. I applaud you for keeping your cool.
I will say this. First of all, I do appreciate you having my back on everything like that. I don't believe that Carrington is a bad human being at all. I don't support that part of it. I do appreciate your support, and I love the fact you're part of our show. What happened on that episode, I've left it there. We had our discussion. I came with receipts. He came with insults. That's his choice. And you know what? Best of luck to him and his show. I wish him nothing but success, but I did have issues, and I went to the show with those issues, and I left it at that. He did things the way he wanted to do that, and that's his style, that's his way, that's his brand, because he used that word a lot. That's his brand. That's his way of coming at human beings, and that's fine. But I do appreciate the sport. I really genuinely, I mean that when I say that. I'm not just saying that to say it. You being here with us here on this show, a show that is driven by conversation and community and take integrity. The fact you want to be here with us, man, and have my back on things, that means the world, man. So I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Christiania Thomas is a new name in the chat. Made a comment earlier. I just wanted to highlight somebody who was new in the chat that I haven't seen before. So Christiania Thomas. Pat needs to get the ball out quicker. Also run the damn ball. And Andy Reid, please have an updated play game and don't try to do a lot of deep balls and use Thornton more. I just wanted to give Christiana Thomas her moment here in the chat. Just
not wrong at all.
Highlight new, but yeah, that's.
Thank you for being here. Yeah.
To add into the content that we've been saying on the show so far today, we agree with you. I think outside of maybe Thornton, I don't mind getting Thornton some more run. He was very productive when he was out there. So if he's the deep threat we need right now, and it's not X, maybe X isn't fully healthy, I'm with it.
I don't think any of us are going to complain if we come back here on Saturday next week and go, dude, Tyquan Thornton caught a 65-yard touchdown. Like, no one's going to complain about that. Obviously, we know that guy was such an underrated blessing for this team because we have to think about the 6 weeks they didn't have Rashee Rice.
Yeah.
Imagine that without Tyquan Thornton. Like, where would the offense have been? Because he was such a catalyst for those first 5+ weeks.
I mean, he was the guy that was making all the headlines about the Chiefs' deep balls back.
Right.
It was because of him.
Right.
Xavier Worthy was out a couple of those games.
Right.
He was out there eating. So, I mean, I think the height element, too, matters a lot, too. I think him being a taller guy.
6'4", isn't he?
We don't always have.
Right. And that's a whole other
I know,
thing.
we've been wanting that. That's what with our guy Shaggy, that's what he wanted, Justin Ross to be.
Yeah.
Because he was the same profile kind of player.
He needs to change his not scheme, but he has this love for undersized speedsters, and that's just not working here in Kansas City. The one receiver they've gotten so far that's become a star is who? Rashee Rice, who's 6'1".
I still believe in Xavier Worthy as a field stretcher.
Sure, and he might be, but he's also a special talent. But Xavier's a special talent. You're not going to find Xavier Worthy's in every draft where they have this 4.2 speed, blinding and great hands. Like you're not going to find those guys. Does he need to be accessed? Yes. And by the way, Witchy Hall, love you too. Thank you so much for the support.
So Todd toll free. I think Denver defense besides playing Philly has feasted on bad offenses, but the Giants QB Jackson Dart dotted this defense up until the fourth quarter. Listen, agreed. And you play who was on your schedule. I get it, but like they have pulled out some wins out of their ass at the teams that they shouldn't even been losing to on paper, right? So I mean, like I said, just beat this team. Like that when it comes down to it, we've seen rookie Jackson Dart go out there and just absolutely dot them up, like you said. I agree with you, Todd, here. So if he can do that, Pat can do that. I don't even think we need to do that. Just play straight up football. I think we beat this team. Clear the air with E. Speak it. Who scores the first TD for the Chiefs? I agree with you that you guys said earlier about Worthy. Use Worthy like they did Hill earlier in his career. Mahomes' offense needs to gain yards by 1,000 cuts, 10,000 cuts.
Rashee Rice scores the first touchdown. That's my prediction. I think Rashee gets the first touchdown.
I mean, yeah. If there's anybody you can bet on, it's between him and Kareem Hunt to score a touchdown. If anybody on this Chiefs team, Kelsey probably be the third.
Yeah.
Or maybe Mahomes running one in too. I think is a solid bet as well. Because when things get tight, we know Mahomes the play breaks down and Pat can rush one in.
Yeah.
These divisional games, he likes to do that. So, yeah, I agree. I think 10,000 cuts, a victory by 10,000 cuts is a great way to put it. I think just be methodical. Like we said on the show, like we don't need this every week, but this week in particular, this is the kind of matchup where you need to just take what they give you.
Yep.
It's okay. Be humble. We don't need to go out there and put make a spectacle of it.
Right.
We don't need that. I don't need highlight plays this week.
We don't need the light show.
Let this be a very boring. Let this be like one of those games that Red Zone doesn't give a shit about.
Right. I'm good with that.
I'm cool with that. Like you said, the Harrison Butker, 3 to 4 field goals.
Yes.
Bro, I'll take 1 touchdown to 4 field goals from Harrison Butker and win this game.
We don't need the light show. We need the right show. That's what they need, man. They need the right approach because, like Trevor just said, styles or matchups are different every single week. There's going to be games, maybe even next week with the Colts, where we're like, hey, you know what? Chuck the ball.
We need to match that. Yeah. That's an offense you got to respect.
Make big plays. We're going to have conversations like that.
This isn't an offense we have to respect.
Right.
Right. So, yeah. Super Devil Juice. Speak it. Why do fans want to punish ourselves and not start Josh? The NFL is not fair sometimes. Good players don't play.
Well, that's the point, is that And that's all it would be doing, is punishing yourself if you don't play your best left tackle. That doesn't make that's the one position you can't fuck around with. Like there's the three biggest and the most important positions in the NFL: quarterback, left tackle, and defensive end, in my opinion. Edge rush. Those are always like the three most important positions. You can't screw around with those. That's why it was such a big deal when the Chiefs drafted and then paid George Karlaftis, because they believe, hey, this is a guy that you heavily invest in because this is a guy you build your defense around. When it comes to left tackle, the reason the Chiefs took Josh Simmons in the first round is because he's a guy they didn't feel they can miss on, because if it went for an injury, he'd have been a top 10 pick. So they needed to up that position. That's also why they invested money in Jalen Moore, to invest at that position. And obviously we all know what Patrick Mahomes is, $500 million quarterback that's led this team to 5 Super Bowl appearances. Yeah. So you have to protect the most important position in the NFL, and that is the quarterback, especially when you have a right-handed quarterback. The left tackle position is of the utmost importance. So yes, it makes no sense not to play him unless like I said earlier, unless Josh comes to Andy Reid and is like, dude, look, I am not emotionally, physically, or mentally prepared for this game. That's a different conversation. But from everything we know, he is mentally, physically, and emotionally ready for this game. So play him. There's no, like I said, if he was coming off an injury and he practiced all week, we're all sitting here celebrating the fact he's back. We're not even talking as to whether he should play or not. But he's coming back from a non-injury and everyone's concerned. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Clear the air with E. Speak it. In the last competitive game against the Broncos last year, there are 10 players who caught passes from Mahomes versus the Broncos. Can you name them?
Oh, I'll go ahead and I'll start. Travis Kelce. I'll say Xavier Worthy. I'll say Noah Gray.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
Kareem Hunt. Juju. Hold on. I'm trying to think here. Another tight end, maybe. No. Oh, was it Justin Watson?
Probably
Justin Watson.
Bro,
that's
I'm not
5 right there. Shit.
10 players definitely caught the ball. That's
Yeah, that's a great question. Honestly, you've got me on that one, man. So I'm gonna say, yeah, those are the 5 confident I am. But yeah, I don't know who else. But 10, that's very on brand though, because Patrick Mahomes loves spreading the ball around. And I would be totally okay with if he did that again this week, man, because what that's going to do is keep that defense on its heels. Yeah. If you just keep feeding Rasheed, I'm not going to be mad.
Well, that's what we've been doing all year.
Yeah, feed 8 to 10 guys. Oh, yeah, we'll be happy with that.
Clear the air with E. He follows that up, says Kareem Hunt was our leading receiver that game.
Damn, you're right.
He had a couple of those big chunk plays.
Holy shit, I totally forgot about that. That's a great callback, man.
Juju Smith-Schuster didn't have a catch. Well, give us the answer.
Well, quit teasing us, Mel. Or easy. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't remember, bro.
Damn.
I'm just a
quit dangling,
a
bro.
dumb podcast over. I don't know. Let's see. So there was that one. Cell 32. Oh, speak it. This team is insanely talented, but there is no urgency. From Pat to Andy and Kelsey, that shit's and the shit that's been going on this season with not getting up for games is just unacceptable.
I echo those
are unacceptable. Yeah, like us being a team that just went to 3 straight Super Bowls and coming out and talking about, oh, they wanted it more. No,
it's not acceptable.
That don't fly here, bro. We ain't the Panthers. We ain't the Panthers, bro.
You're correct on that. I would retweet that take right now if that was on Twitter, because that's 100% correct.
Oh, clearly with E said Peyton Hendershot had a catch and Justin Ross had an appearance.
Good Lord, what a weird game, dude.
That doesn't go to show you how last year went. But last year was such
88. Remember he took Gonzalez's number. Yeah. Peyton, he was the one that almost got
anybody with a pulse, bro, can get a ball from that. Jesus Christ. I think Andy Reid caught one on the sideline. Fuck. Cell 32 all speak it. This is a bad matchup in my opinion. Our defense is overrated this year in my opinion. No pass rush at all. That's true. And like I said earlier, the organizational urgency and no move at the deadline. Fair points. Overrated, I disagree. We don't allow a lot of points. Our red zone defense is fucking elite. Straight up. We don't. When things get tight, our defense is incredible in the red zone.
Even if
that's what matters most to me.
When we're talking about this particular matchup, though, in my opinion, even if the Chiefs' defense is overrated, I don't know if that matters though, because the Broncos' offense is such ass.
Yeah,
like we saw the Raiders'
more about our defense in this.
Like the Raiders should have beat them by multiple scores. They had multiple touchdowns.
And they had some dumbass penalties. Yes. Yeah, there were some dumb penalties. They screwed themselves. They could have won that game.
And they missed a field goal. There's like 17 points left on the board. They should have smacked the Broncos in their house in prime time. So even if you're right, even if this defense is just a smidge overrated or a lot overrated, to me that doesn't really matter, because I think any just like good defense, solid defense, a top 20 defense can give this Broncos offense fits.
Yeah.
So I think we all can agree the Chiefs defense is a top 20 defense. So I think that we can all sit here and I know, you know what I'm saying? Like, people think they're overrated. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
disagree with the overrated thing.
I think they're a top 10 defense. I don't think they're overrated. I think they have issues. Obviously, you said pass rush is bad. They can't stop quarterbacks running. The tight ends usually go off on this defense.
Listen,
but when it comes to the grand scheme of things, this defense can't
The
claim
way I see it, like there's so many different ways to grade out defenses. Like some people, like yes, we need more pressure, we need more sacks. But we've seen year in year out, there's teams that are leading up there in the top 10, top 5 in sacks, but they allow 20, 24 points a game.
Yeah.
Which would you rather have? I'd rather be the team that doesn't allow enough points. That is in the league, you know, top of as far as points allowed.
Yeah,
that's all that matters to me. I know. I trust me. Visually, I want to see Chris Jones get a sack this year. That'd be cool. I want to see George Karlaftis get a few more sacks this year. That'd be cool. I want to see the sacks too. That matters, and it's fun. It makes it fun for the teams. But if we're allowing 13 points a game, that matters way more to me. If we're an elite defense and we put the clamps on teams in the red zone when things matter, we can hold teams to 3 consistently, I'm cool with that, bro. And that's what, honestly, Spags has been a master at that. The bend don't break thing, it's annoying. I get it. We allow chunk plays between the 20s. It's annoying. And we'll allow third and long conversions. That shit's annoying. I get it. Sacks on third and longs would be cool. I would love that. But if we're only allowing a team to score 13 to 17 points in a game and we're putting up north of 20, 24 and getting dubs, I'm fine with it. I know it sucks, but like I'd rather be the team that doesn't allow that much points, but then compared to the team that's getting, you know, a ton of sacks every week, but allowing 30 points a game. I'm good. I'd rather have this. Sell 32 all. Speak it. Josh Simmons better play like Trent Williams after the shit he pulled. If Nick Benito eats his lunch, the fan base will turn on him quick. Narrative do shift. I get it. I'm a little sensitive to what's going on with this family. I get it, but also we've been critical on this show as well towards him. And you know, but I fully expect when Josh Simmons is on the field, we know who Josh Simmons is going to be. I think dude's been an absolute dog, and I expect him to be that when he comes back. And I fully expect him to start and be really good in this.
You know what's so funny is that I was the one on social media that
You're taking the arrows.
Yeah, taking the arrows for simply saying that the Chiefs needed to be a little bit more, you know, give us some clarity of when to expect Josh back and things like that. And everyone took it and ran with it as me saying that Josh needed to tell us what's going on. That's never what I said. You can go and look it up.
Yeah.
But now I find myself being the one that's almost like defending the situation because I do disagree with the take. And we can, if you want to put that back on the screen real quick, you can, Trev. Just the I don't know if you still have it or not. This what Sel said when he said the part about the fan base turning on him. I do think that there is a certain level of angst, and I guess anger would be the word that a lot of people are using. But see, I don't see it that way. If Josh goes out there and Nick Benito gets the best of him once or a couple times, and maybe Josh doesn't play his best game, I'm not turning on him because one, I've seen this dude play incredible football already in this early portion of his career, and second, he's still in the early portion of his career. We're talking about Nick Benito, who is a guy that's making over $100 million now in his career. This is a real threat, a real edge rusher. This is a guy that deserves the respect of being a guy that can get a rookie like Josh Simmons.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to turn. I don't want to speak for everybody else. People handle their emotions how they want to. But I don't think there's going to be like this new cult of people that are like, you know, getting pitchforks and fire and they're coming after Josh Simmons like he's Frankenstein. I don't think that's going to be the case. Now, if he strings along a series of games like that, then that will happen. And I won't actually be opposed to it because at the end of the day, Josh does have to perform.
Yeah.
He does have to do his job at a high level because he is a first-round pick.
Performance,
yes, but right now I'm not going to sit here and say that I think they're going to turn on him or anything like that yet. And I don't think it's fair to say he has to play like Trent Williams because Trent Williams is Trent Williams. No one else is.
They're going to the tippy top there.
Yeah, it's hard to do. It's like saying that, you know, Rashard Smith needs to be, you know, freaking Barry Sanders this week. Why would I say that? Why would I try to put that on him yet? Because like I said, Josh Simmons is not expected to be Trent Williams because only Trent Williams is Trent Williams. It's like saying Kingsley needs to be Joe Tooney. What? You know what I mean? Like, you can't expect Joe Tooney out of Kingsley because Kingsley's not Joe Tooney. You know what I mean? That's just how it goes, man.
For sure. Chiefs B. If the Chiefs lose this game, does not making the playoffs become a conversation or not yet?
Oh, no, it becomes a conversation.
It's unavoidable.
It has to be. We can't be so foolish and say that a team that's 5-5 can't be talked about in a way of do they make or miss the playoffs.
They're in their division,
yeah, because your division's over at that point.
Yeah.
they kiss the 1 seed way goodbye. That's just done.
Yeah.
Then it has to be the conversation. Okay, do you end up having a better record than the Jaguars?
This is a fork in the road kind of game here.
Do you have a better record than the Jaguars? Because they have the tiebreaker right now. So that's the question. You have yes, it 100% becomes a legitimate question. That's why the Chiefs need to avoid it.
Absolutely. And plus, it's the Broncos, man. Fuck. Beat the Broncos.
Top it all off.
Shit talk all. Come on. Oh wait, my bad. That's not what I want to put up there. Let's see. John Harrison. This was the less of a question, but more of a statement. Chiefs tight ends may have some success against their D. Dalton Schultz had 6 for 77 2 weeks ago, and Bellinger for the Giants had 88 yards. Just saying. Yep. This is a good spot. I think this is a game where Travis Kelce can definitely get up for it, and I think Noah Gray could have a solid game here as well. He's kind of been getting utilized a little bit more along the way the last couple weeks. The Bills game was just a disaster all the way around. But I agree. That is one of the weak points of that Broncos defense. And I think underneath in general, a lot of underneath plays in general after the catch ability, they've been kind of suspect to allowing of that. But I will say too, to the Broncos skill set as well, they're similar to us. I mean, they get a lot more sacks than we do, but they play some bend don't break at times too. And they're really good in the red zone. So us finishing, when we get in the red zone, finishing those plays is going to be a big part of that. And I think the tight ends could definitely come into play. But listen, I don't think we need to score a lot of points. I don't think we need to go get 3 touchdowns in this game to win this game comfortably. I really don't. And
I look, if my prediction holds firm and Patrick throws the ball 40 times, I think a lot of people are going to get targeted. I think a lot of people are going to get receptions. So I think that yes, there's a very good chance because in a weird way, Trevor, the offense still runs through Travis Kelce.
Yeah,
he's leading the team in yards,
he's been really
receptions, targets. I mean, obviously Rashid missing 6 games plays a huge factor in that. Right. But every week we're seeing an uptick in Travis Kelce usage. And so I think that having Rashee Rice back opens up things for the tight ends, clearly. So, yeah, I would not be shocked at all, dude, if we're looking back after Sunday's game and Travis has 6 catches for 74 yards and a tutty. Yeah. Like, it wouldn't shock me. Noah Gray has 3 catches for 30 yards and a touchdown. Like, none of that would shock me because I think that the Chiefs are going to throw to everybody. So, yeah, I think if they find weaknesses against these slower linebackers, take full advantage of it. Have Travis cook. Have Noah Gray cook. You know what I mean? Have some of these bigger, stronger weapons utilize their feet and get open in space. And, on these 3rd and 5s and these 4th and 1s, plays like that we know are going to play a factor in this game. Yeah, utilize those dudes. I'm 100% involved in that, dude. I love when the tight ends are getting involved. More than just because they have an all-time great Travis Kelce. But seeing Noah Gray get involved in the offense only opens things up even further for everybody else.
Yeah.
It opens up everything because then they're like, shit. Now we got to respect that dude because now he's getting hot. Now we've seen Noah Gray catch two balls on this drive alone. Like now he has to be a part of the execution of the adjustment,
For sure. Do you have a score prediction for this?
Did we not give ours? Maybe I
didn't give mine.
Go ahead.
Listen, I think this is a game. I agree with you. I think this is a Harrison Butker game, and that's something I've been thinking about all week. This is like I even said when we were talking about like putting bets in for this game. I think Harrison Butker over on kicking points is a good one. I don't think we score 20 points in this game. I think all we need is about 16 to 18 points. I don't think the Broncos score a touchdown in this game.
Okay.
We shut out the team that damn near beat them last week. Or not last week, but that Raiders game. Yeah, that Raiders game that they should have lost, in my opinion. We shut that team out entirely. And I think our defense is far superior to that Raiders defense. And it took some luck also for them to even score on that Raiders team. So I think a couple field goals tops is what I'm giving the Broncos. I have no faith in their offense. I think this is a great spot for our defense. I think tops. I want to give them. I'm going to say 3 points, but I'm going to give them 6. I think they can get because I think they're going to want to be aggressive, and I think our defense is going to match that. I think the Chiefs only need to score 1 real touchdown in this game to win this game. I think it could be 3-4 field goals from Harrison Butker, and we can get a Kareem Hunt or a Kelce touchdown or a Rashee Rice touchdown. I think if we score 2 touchdowns, I'll be dude, that's like a cherry on top.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to need to. I think 18-6 is going to be the score of this game, and it's going to be a boring game, but I think we win, and I think we just take care of business. I think we run the ball a fair amount, not too much, but I think we just go get this job done, man. I think this is going to be one of those games where it's just like, we got through it, we got the dub, on to the next, but it was a boring game.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
Your final sentence is where I 100% agree with you on. Where I'm going to disagree just a little bit is the fact that I think that because we know how important this game is also to the Broncos, that I think you're going to see a little bit more of an uptick in their offense. I'm not saying they're going to be good.
I think our defense is going to take their will.
I hope you're right. What I'm saying is I hope you're right. My thing is because of the fact that we know, one, the Broncos do have a good offensive line, And 2, even though they are banged up, I will say that.
I hope their offense comes out and try to fire on us.
Right.
I want that.
Right.
I want aggressive Bo Nix. That's when mistakes come into play.
The J.K. Dobbins injury is the one
And they can't play conservative?
I could totally see your prediction coming true. I do think they get 1 touchdown in this game. I think at some point later in the game, they put one together.
The only way I see that happening
Yeah.
is if they get a deep DPI and they get set up.
See, I mean, that can happen.
That's the only way I see that happening. Because I think
we know the Chiefs have been known to have stupid penalties.
I think
You know what I mean?
there's. I think we're going to force some turnovers in this game. I think they're going to try to go for it on 4th near midfield, and we're going to have good scoring position. I don't think any offense really gets up in this game, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I think a lot of settling for field goals. I think Sean Payton's going to try to get aggressive. I think it's going to backfire because we've been really good on the teams trying to go for it on 4th this year.
Yeah.
We've seen the Detroit, who's one of the best teams at going for it and converting 4th downs. We were shutting that shit down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even the Bills a couple times tried to go for it on 4th, and we shut that shit down.
Yeah.
Our defense has been awesome, dude. I don't care what anybody says. Our defense has been awesome. I think our defense is going to go out there and absolutely take the soul of that offense away from the Broncos. And I think they thrive on being just a conservative offense, letting their defense do their job. They ain't going to have that opportunity this week.
Yeah. I think, here's the thing. I think there's going to be 5 field goals in this game. By both teams combined. I said Harrison Butker gets to 3, and I think that Will Lutz. Will Lutz is their kicker. He has 2 field goals in this game. But I do think the Broncos, because I will give enough respect to Sean Payton, I think he's going to have a couple plays drawn up to where they do execute them correctly and get 1 touchdown drive in this game. It's it's 48 minutes of football or 60 minutes of football. You know, they're gonna have 1 drive where they put 1 together. In my opinion, I think Trevor, you could 100% be correct, and the Chiefs just shut their shit down because to your point, they are banged up at offensive line. They are banged up at J.K. Dobbins being out, and Bo Nix is Blow Nix. He sucks. Yeah. I think that yes, there's a valid point to that. I just think that because this is the NFL, we do see things where like, how the hell did that just happen? Like Franklin just got a 48-yard reception. What the fuck just happened? Like, there's going to be like that one, the Chiefs do this, dude. They're going to give up that 1 stupid play or 1 stupid penalty, and the Broncos are on the 5-yard line.
A DPI. Yeah, the only way I see them really maybe getting down there and being in a scoring position.
I'll detail it. I think that's what happens. I think there is a big penalty that puts them down like the 5-yard line, and then Bo Nix rushes for a touchdown. Right. And then everyone's like, oh, shit, here we go. You know what I mean? Like, and everybody thinks that they're back. And then the Chiefs get methodical. I think that Patrick Mahomes is going to move the ball this game. I know the Broncos defense is awesome, but I think they're going to move the ball. I don't think the Chiefs score a ton of points. I agree with you on that, but I think the Chiefs get into the red zone 5 or 6 times in this game, and I think Butker finishes some of these drives off with field goals. I am predicting the Chiefs to win this game 23-13. I think it's a 10-point victory. Like you said, it's not sexy, it's not fun, and the Chiefs just kind of control the game. I don't think that I don't think the Chiefs ever trail in this game. I think they lead the entire game, probably go up 3-0, something like that. Maybe score another touchdown, go up 10-0. Then that's when the Bo Nix touchdown happens.
There could be a garbage time touchdown too for the Broncos.
Sure.
I just think this is going to be a dominant performance from our defense, and I think it's going to come. It's going to feel like it's going to be a shutout.
But like I said, if you hold a team under 14 points in the NFL, that's a dominant performance. I believe that. If you can hold an opponent in under 2 touchdowns, that is a dominant performance. So I think 13 points is one hell on the road in a must-win game, in a game that both teams need to win. You hold them to 13 points. Oh, I'm applauding the Chiefs defense. If you give up 1 touchdown in 4 quarters, you did your job. So I can live with that. You know what I mean? Because I think if the Chiefs hold them to 13 points, the Chiefs win this game by 10+ points. Because I think even though they don't need to score a lot of points, this offense is too damn good. And for the first time this season, they have their starting left tackle and their 2 best receiving options on the same field at the same time. Yeah, I like our chances, dude. So, give me 23-13. You said 18-6. That's an ugly score, dude. I love it. I fucking love it. Like, I almost have the Chiefs scoring more points than you have combined. I love that. That's awesome.
It's okay.
I love that score. It's, like, super ugly. If it's 18-6.
We'll revisit this when I'm right.
That is – no, you like, think about it. Like, when was the last time you saw an 18-6 score?
Listen, dude, I don't – I just –
I love that score,
I think we're going to absolutely de-pants Bo Nix in this game. Straight up. I think we're going to take it from them. I think this team knows what this is, and we know we have the internal fortitude and the championship caliber-esque to go out there and take it from them. And I don't care, bro. I think this defense is going to get up for this. I think our defense is going to be fucking awesome.
No, this is so funny, dude. Like when we make our predictions, there's times I like Trevor's prediction more than I like my own. Because I don't make we don't make predictions based on what we like.
Oh yeah,
we make predictions.
I want to go put 40 on these boys.
Yeah, dude, and if I had my way, 45-7.
Yeah,
give me 45-7.
This just feels like a moment where Spags, you're like, you know what? I'm giving y'all the double. You're getting the double bird today. Spags is going to be in his bag, bro, and he. I think he could take. There's been blood in the water all season for Bo Nix, and teams, and he's been skating by, and they have this record. I get it, but there's been some blood in the water, and defense has been taking advantage of him, and he's been making a lot of mistakes, and I think this is where it rears its ugly head, and it couldn't come at a worse time than against the Chiefs. And everyone, and then all the chatter is gonna be all the Chiefs are back, or all the fixes in again here. The league couldn't have the Chiefs lose because we're gonna win in dominant fashion. And I don't care. I think this defense is gonna go out there and it's absolutely embarrassing.
Our guy D-Mac, I don't know if you saw what he said. He goes, for what it's worth, Chiefs third in red zone touchdown percentage at 70%. Broncos defense is middle of the pack in red zone touchdown allowed percentage at 58%. He goes, predictions aside, this is a win by any means game. I could not agree more,
absolutely. Man. And that stat for us has gone up since we've had Rasheed back for sure.
Oh, definitely.
100%. He scored 3 touchdowns in his first 2 games back. So yeah, having that guy back helps. I would love to see us run it up on these boys, but this is a situation where we don't need to. I think we can go, like I said, just play conservative.
Now, if they want to, I'm okay with that.
Get back in the win column. I get it.
How much more of a statement game would that be, though, if the Chiefs said, you know what, we're dropping 38 today?
Well, I mean, you were right. You were right when it came to the Raiders game. Remember, I said this is going to be more of a conservative game for the Chiefs.
Yep.
And nah, absolute shutout, just dominance. We just kept putting it on them. Yeah, so I mean, it could be that too. But I have a little bit more respect for this Broncos team defensively than I do the Raiders.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, this for me is less about Mahomes getting right and this offense getting right than it is this defense just showing
John Harrison
what we're capable of.
In the Mahomes era, when the Chiefs give up 17 or less, they're 53-0.
This defense is going to dominate. I'm telling you right now, dude. So let's see. We got a couple more here. Cell32, I'll speak it. Islam or JDM tonight?
I like Islam. I mean, JDM is. I love watching him play or him fight.
Yeah.
He's an entertaining fighter. He's worthy of this opportunity. But Islam is one of the greatest UFC fighters I've ever seen. He's so precise. Yeah, which is crazy. Yeah. I think it's only his second loss of his career.
Yeah. Got his ass beat.
I don't see him losing 2 straight fights, dude. I think he recalibrates, gets the dub. I do think it's going to be kind of a a more boring fight. I think he wins by decision, but I think it's wins by unanimous decision. I think that the grapple game, I think that his clinch, all those things, he's just going to score points. It's going to be tough because you know that JDM's going to want to put fists on him.
Yeah.
He's going to want to put fists on him because that's his style. I don't think it happens. I think that Islam wins the fight.
And CHIEFS and Mayos, man.
You don't fuck with him, dude.
Yeah. We got Sarah Peters in the chat.
Yo!
Sorry I'm late. Love you guys. Fuck the Broncos.
Yeah. See, hey, my girl SP out there in Denver. She lives in Denver, so she has to live in hostile territories on a 24/7. Yeah, exactly. Dude, by the way, great shit out there. But Sarah is one of my dearest friends. Love you so much. Thank you for always being one of the #1 fans of the show. She's believed in me since day one. She's believed in what we do here since day one. And
for some reason,
I love you so. Yeah, I know. Right? Don't know why the hell she does it, man. But she does it. She loves me for some reason. But shout out to Sarah for always living, like I said, in the hostile territory. We love you so much, and thank you for the support. And yes, I echo the sentiments of fucking of the Broncos. So
let's do
not literally, of course, but yes.
Let's make the world watch.
Let the world watch.
Yeah. We got one last one. Let's make this one quick. Cell32 out. Speak it. Is Andy Reid an overrated coach when it comes to all-time talks? He's obviously going to be a Hall of Famer, but he got ran out of Philly, and I remember life before Pat. I ain't got nothing to say about that, but he said it.
I'm gonna say that Andy Reid is not an overrated coach. I'm gonna say that I have my issues with Andy. I think that he has fallen short in some areas when it comes to maybe his overbelief in Alex Smith back in that time. That was always something it drove me nuts. I think that he should have played Patrick Mahomes at some point, at least in 2017. And I'm not talking about the final game of the season, just so you could see what you got in Patrick. I'm talking about when they were in the postseason or when they were on that, 4 or 5 game losing streak. Like, I didn't like that. I disagreed with that.
Yeah.
He's made a lot of mistakes in the Mahomes era as well, and Patrick's had to overcome them. And I will never argue that. But I'm going to say that there is no other coach I would rather have in Kansas City than Andy Reid. There's other guys I really like, and if Andy Reid was to retire, I would have that conversation about who I'd like to see replace him. But if you were to ask me, take your pick, who's the guy you want to develop Patrick Mahomes from 2017 to now? I'm not hesitating. It's Andy Reid. You've seen the results, guys. I don't think that they do this with any other coach. And there's some awesome coaches. I think Kyle Shanahan's great. I think Sean McVay's great. I think Kevin O'Connell's great. I think there's a lot of good young coaches out there. Mike Vrabel, obviously, D'Amico Ryans, Mike Tomlin's always been great. Like, there's a lot of names you can pull from the bag, but there's none that I would rather have than Andy Reid. So I'm just going to disagree. I think the Philadelphia thing ran its course because that's a very cutthroat city. There's no pleasing that city. I think that, you're even hearing about Nick Sirianni being on the hot seat, and he just won the damn Super Bowl last season. I think that was a situation also where he was dealing with personal matters. His son literally just died, and I think that his mind wasn't fully, around football at the time, and it failed miserably. And the moment he had a bad season, they fired him. I think that was a blessing in disguise for both franchises because they needed to go their separate ways, and it worked out beautifully for both sides. So I love Andy Reid, and I'm not going to be on the side that thinks he's overrated.
Absolutely.
And yes, I would rather have Andy Reid than Sean McVay. Sean McVay is a great head coach, and I know he's younger, and I know that he's got a longer track ahead of him, so I know that's why we look at it. But, guys, if you look at, again, what Sean McVay and Andy Reid have done in their careers, there is no comparison to this point. Could Sean McVay ultimately surpass Andy Reid? Yeah, because he's only in his 30s, and, he could have that run where he has more Super Bowls. But the results are there. Andy Reid, like I said, without a single Hall of Fame quarterback before Mahomes, had, I think, 87 more victories than losses, had been to, 5 or 6 conference title games, went to a Super Bowl. Like, this dude has done things that I don't think McVay would have done with the quarterbacks that Andy Reid had. And that's no shot to McVay. That's praise to Andy and what he's able to make from what he's got. And the moment he got a generational quarterback, what does he do? Oh, only 7 consecutive AFC championships, only 3 Super Bowl championships, and 5 appearances. And maybe the greatest dynasty we've ever seen to this point. And it's still going, by the way.
Yeah, Cell32 Alt said, "Speak it. Islam hasn't lost since 2015. You might have him mixed with us. I think we were mixed up with Magamad
Ankalaev. Yeah, he just got his ass whooped. My bad. Yeah, some of the chefs of my
I don't know why. Yeah, I get those guys confused. I always get those guys. But yeah, Islam. That guy is just unreal.
He's the champ for a reason, dude. Yeah. Like I said, he's only 31 years old. Yeah. He's the Khabib understudy. Like, this dude is a dude, like I said, that just he doesn't really have any weakness to his strategies, to his game. And I think it's irresponsible unless you're just trying to make big money on a big swing. There's no reason to put any money or any belief that he's going to lose a fight until it's actually happens. Like you said, it's been a whole damn decade since it's actually occurred.
Yeah. Last question so far. Let's see. Super Devil Juice, speak it. What's your thoughts on Colin Saunders? P.S. CH May now Nick Wright, but the legend, the Brit Chief. Not sure exactly what you're trying to get across there, but as far as what our thoughts are on Colin Saunders, I really hope the Chiefs figure out a way to bring him over here. I think he's just floating out there right now. I feel like that guy is a guy. He's proven to be a good fit here. Incredible athlete, and I think we could use as much help on this defensive line as we can, especially for depth and guys like him. So I'm right there.
I tweeted out when it comes to the Chiefs bringing back Colin Saunders, there's nothing really to think about. The Chiefs have a glaring need at his position, and he, in my opinion, was and still can be a plus player in the Spags defense. So I would have signed him yesterday. I don't know if he's cleared waivers. I'm pretty sure he's cleared waivers by now. Yeah. That's Wednesday, right, when that happens?
Yeah.
So, he's had a few days for him to clear. I'd imagine he's going to sign back with the Chiefs unless he gets a better offer elsewhere where someone else is giving him more money guaranteed, which I wouldn't blame him, obviously. But if the Chiefs can get Colin Saunders, there's no question in my mind they should go get him. Yeah, he's still a good player. I understand it didn't work in Jacksonville, but that's just how it goes sometimes, guys. Some schemes, shit, you saw the great Randy Moss do jack shit with the Raiders. And then he turns around and gets traded to the Patriots, I think, for like a 5th-round pick, and sets the single-season touchdown record. That's on the high scale of things. You know what I mean? Where you saw Randy Moss not work and then blows back up in New England. Colin Saunders can be a guy that comes in here in Kansas City, makes a positive influence and contributes to the defense, man. So yeah, absolutely, you bring him back because you know what he can be in this defense. We've seen it happen.
Yeah. That is it for the questions, bro.
You guys are awesome, dude. The chat has been so energetic and so lively as always. Every single week, it feels like it just ups the ante every single time. Just continues to gradually get better and better, man. And I can't thank you guys enough for that, dude. So you guys make this show fun. I appreciate all the support. Like I said, I've seen plenty of comments on here about what has happened over these last couple of weeks with me doing other shows and taking on other things. All I say is that you guys know who I am, and when my when things come into question about whether I'm an authentic person or I'm genuine about where I stand on things, I think that I have a body of work here and enough people that have been a part of this show, that have listened to the show and chimed in on the show to know that I bring it the same way every single week. I don't need to defend myself. I sit there and I take whatever somebody wants to say about me or to me, and I just smile. And that's what I did, and that's what I'll continue to do, and continue to do what we do here, which is have fun talking football and keeping things real, keeping things genuine, keeping things authentic. And if that's what you like, if that's your flavor, you came to the right place, man. So I, again, really thank you guys all for chiming in the way that you guys do, making this fun for Trevor and I every single week to get to know you guys better, build friendships, build relationships through this. Because like I said, if we didn't do this, there's a great chance we don't ever meet. We don't ever know each other. And that's wild to think about, man. I would be missing out on opportunities to get to know you guys, dude. That means a lot to me. It's invaluable to me, man. I can't put a price tag on it. I genuinely mean that. So with that said, it is, Trevor, we have one more order of business to get to. What is it called?
Hold this L.
Each and every episode, we finish off every single episode with a series of L's in the world of sports. Whether those L's are friendly L's and not so friendly L's in the world of sports, we promise you, who's ever holding the L's this week in the world of sports, they deserve those L's in the world of sports. Trevor Twiddle, who's holding the L for you this week?
All right, so my guy 𝚂𝙿𝙾𝙺, who I respect across the board. I think he's a really well thought out guy, and he was giving his thoughts on the difference between the Chiefs and the Broncos in this matchup. I just kind of want you guys to hear what he has to say here. Hold on one second.
Show up. Yeah, you might see his career stats against the Broncos and see 13 wins and 14 games for the Chiefs and think to yourself, this one is going to be in their hands easily on Sunday. But Mahomes has only accounted for 20 passing touchdowns in those 14 games. It's Denver defense, new season, new year, but they have been good on defense for the past couple of seasons. And I think this is the best version we have seen of this Broncos defense during the Sean Payton and Vance Joseph era. I think the biggest thing for the Chiefs on Sunday is to be situationally incredible. The Broncos are as good as it gets defensively in the red zone. They have the personnel to do whatever they want on a given play. They want to play man, they want to play zone, they want to rush a pool, they want to blitz, you name it, they can do it. They have the dudes at all three levels. The Broncos have allowed the third fewest trips to the red zone per game this season. You don't get there often, and no team has held opponents to either build those turnovers or turnovers on down on a higher percentage of those red zone trips than the Broncos. They tighten the screws when you do get there, which is not all that often in the first place.
All right, so he's not entirely wrong there. I get it. I think he's given his kudos to that Broncos defense, who has been awesome this year. But he's also, talking about how the Chiefs have won those games and how Pats basically only had one touchdown per game, maybe a little over that in all those games. 20 total passing touchdowns in the matchups. But my key to that statement was, and it's a fair. He didn't say anything outrageous or anything like that, but what he said about the Broncos being able, the one I want to remember when we're watching this game is that the Broncos are basically able to do whatever they want on any given play. I can't give the L entirely right now because the game has not happened, but this is a one that I want to revisit next week once this game is set.
Trevor likes these prophetic L's, man. You like these?
It's because I got a vibe, baby. Because I think our defense is going to be the one that can do whatever we want on any given play in this matchup. Because we've seen, I know that Broncos defense has been good, and they have held a lot of teams to a lot of field goals, but they've also been diced up by several quarterbacks. It ain't like they've been shutting everybody down. And to our guy D-Mac in the chat talking about our red zone efficiency and what we've done once we get down there, we'll see. You know what I mean? I know I don't have us scoring because I don't think we need to score much to win this game because of our defense, in my mind, being the actual better defense in this game, which is maybe crazy to some people. But I think that's going to be the truth when this game's all said and done. They may be the better defense by the end of the year, but when it comes to this week and we know what we got to do this week, I think I expect our defense to be the defense that can do what we want on any given play. To 𝚂𝙿𝙾𝙺's point, I just think he's on the wrong side of the argument, in my opinion. And I think that'll be true once we come next Saturday and we're talking about recapping this one. I feel like I'll be in the right here on the right side of history. So, all respect to 𝚂𝙿𝙾𝙺. But I think he's going to be wrong when it comes to that take and what he thinks is going to happen and that, as far as he wasn't even really making a claim. I get it. It's been a little slow week for L's in my opinion. So, but that one I just wanted to basically take his take and flip it because I think our defense is going to be the one that's, like I said, is going to be able to do whatever we want on any given play. And we're going to dictate how this game goes on this defensive side of things, not them. Because it sounded like he was giving them all the credit, and he's basically ignoring what the Chiefs can do out of defense. And I think this is a great moment for the Chiefs to kind of remind everybody what we can do, what Spags can do, why Spags is the best in the business. So Vance Joseph can take a back seat this week. All respect due to those guys. He's been doing a great job. But for that, Field Yates, do me a solid favor and
hold this L prophetically.
Yep.
Well, this is unfortunately the news that we got out this week from the New York Post. We put that on the screen. It looks like troubling Lamborghini video surfaces after Titans L'Jarius Sneed accused in shooting. Surveillance video shows Tennessee Titans cornerback L'Jarius Sneed driving a Lamborghini Urus, I think it's how you say it, at a suburban Dallas dealership and nearby gas station minutes before two men alleged that shots were fired at them from that vehicle last December.
Yep.
Sneed was indicted Tuesday by a Dallas grand jury on a misdemeanor charge of failing to report felony aggravated assault to law enforcement. The indictment for Sneed, who won back-to-back Super Bowls with the Chiefs in 2022 and 2023, does not include details of the alleged incident on December 6th. In the video, Sneed can be seen getting out of the Lamborghini, then using crutches to walk past the men and up the stairs into the dealership at 3:22 p.m. on that date. Sneed walks out about a minute later in the video, which was shared Thursday with the Associated Press by attorney Levi McCartham, who represents the two men in a civil lawsuit against Sneed over the shooting. The Titans cornerback, who was on injured reserve, also can be seen in separate surveillance video at a gas station at the same time as the two men. In the video, Sneed walks in from a gas pump, goes to a register, and then walks back to the same car when Christian, I'm not even going to try the last name, said, and 𝚂𝙿𝙾𝙺 were inside. Minutes later, the two men saying in their lawsuit that they were shot at while sitting in a Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon at the dealership. The surveillance video shows a vehicle driving past the four loud pops heard and an arm out the passenger side window at 3:42 p.m. That vehicle then speeds off. A probable cause affidavit from the Carrollton Police Department dated December 11th said Ahmed asked employees about two men had seen them earlier and that Sneed was identified as one of those men. The dealership also provided Sneed's phone number. Detectives also confirmed Sneed's identity from surveillance video from several locations. Quote, it was apparent that Sneed was the only person they had seen getting out and into that driver's seat of the Lamborghini. He also was the last person seen getting into the driver's seat at the Rack Track gas station approximately 8 minutes before the shooting, according to the affidavit. The police affidavit also noted that combined with the rapid acceleration away from the scene, proved that Sneed knew that what he was doing when assisted the shooter in fleeing the scene. Both men alleged that Sneed and another man, 𝚂𝙿𝙾𝙺 Williams, were inside the Lamborghini when the shots were fired. Williams was indicted Tuesday on a charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Court records did not list an attorney for Williams. McCartham of McCartham Law said Thursday his clients were pleased that Sneed and his associated were indicted. Quote, hopefully this will be the beginning of getting justice for our clients. As the video clearly shows, they're very lucky to be alive after Mr. Sneed's actions. Sneed's attorney, Michael J. Todd, did not return a message left by the AP on Thursday. Sneed's agent has no comment Wednesday. Here's some audio to talk about these claims.
I told you how I would do it. I would franchise tag L'Jarius Sneed. I would reach a long-term extension with L'Jarius Sneed, and I would let Chris Jones walk in free agency and take the compensatory pick.
Oh, what was that? Was that the right clip? I didn't know if that was the right. Oh, I must have been the wrong clip. I apologize. But the point I'm trying to make, though, guys, is that this is a bad situation, and it looks like the Chiefs literally dodged a bullet by not paying L'Jarius Sneed, like I was trying to tell people for a long time, and I guess other people were trying to say different. But regardless, the point is, it's looking bad for L'Jarius Sneed. This is why you don't pay cornerbacks. I'm just kidding. It's not really that deep, but it's definitely a problem that I think the Chiefs did avoid, and it looks like that's now the Titans' problem to deal with. So in the meantime, L'Jarius Sneed and his recklessness can do me a solid and hold this L. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
so
bad look, man.
Saying all that to say, guys, this has been a great show. It's been a long durated show, but you know what? These are the fun shows because we get everything out. You guys get to talk about what you want to talk about. We get to talk about. We have a great conversation. That's where we leave it every single damn week. What we need from the Chiefs this week is to show us what they are. Because like I said, the question I've been asking, and a lot of other people have started to ask, is what are the Chiefs? There is a mystery out there. We know what they can be. We know what they have been, but are they still that? Can they still be that? That's the question they need to answer this Sunday, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing that happen. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I hope you guys continue to enjoy the show. If you do, you want to continue to be a part of it, go to YouTube, hit us up at the Spoken Podcast. Please hit subscribe, share, notify, like, all the fun buttons, but get in the comments, guys. We want you to be a part of the show every single week. That is the single most important thing we do here at the Spoken Podcast. So for Trevor Twidwell, for the great Clay Windler that puts all this together on the back end of things at Red Tribe Cinema, and for the entire Spoken community, I am Lance Twidwell. Episode 336 is done, finished, and finito. And until we are back here in 1 week's time for episode 337, hopefully talking about a Chiefs victory against the Broncos and moving forward against this big, surprisingly big game against the Colts at Arrowhead. We out of this bitch.
Later.